I wondered if, because the healing bands, does it have, it doesn't say that it has like a number of uses or anything in the magical items. So I wondered about doing the healing band separately, but I was looking at all the different items and there's like +2 to this roll or +2 to that roll, or so I wondered about, was it possible to create some sort of a legacy item that she can use like when she's doing research and the glyphs and the token creation and everything to help. I mean, because the token already is supposed to focus the magic, but I
Yes.
mean, something that'll maybe help her heal magic and mana faster.
Okay. Depends how you
But
want
I
to.
wasn't sure how the mechanics of something like that would be worked out.
No, I get you. Um, I could definitely see something along the lines of like a use per day type of item, and you activate it, and it just gives you a big boost of mana and health. If you want to do something like that, you could have one that's passively going, and just would increase your mana regained. Uh, I don't remember what the mana regain is. Is it per hour or something like that per round?
Yeah, the
Um,
healing bands is like 1d6 heal per round.
mhm. So like I said, you could do like one's a boost, or you could do a passive one that's just giving you're just a little bit better at healing and mana regain than the average individual. Or it really depends on how you want to approach it.
Well, could it
Um,
be a more passive boost like that, where it's the passive mana and healing like the healing bands, but maybe once per day or something she could access it to be like a big surge or something?
Yeah, I'd be okay with it working like that.
there was an idea I thought of. Just I was actually thinking about the gnome ability,
Mm-hmm.
and the idea I thought of was maybe making your legacy item augment the gnome's ability.
Hmm.
So, like 3 or 5 times a day, you can use the gnome's ability without draining any of your own life. Or
Fair.
you could use it to give it a bonus to its effectiveness.
Right. For every 1 health you put in, they get 2 health back.
Or if you want to be a little bit more on the darker side, make it so X number of times a day, you can use the gnome's ability in reverse. So instead of
I
giving life to someone, you can take life from someone.
You scary vampire, you.
know.
Vampire golem.
No.
Gnome.
No.
Horrifying. Yeah, so kind of tell me what you're thinking, Night Sky. I'm good with most any of these ideas. Tell me which one you want to go with, and we'll sort the details.
So I like the passive boost to the mana and health regen thing that we talked about for sure. But I would definitely like to either pair it with like Alex's idea for, so many times a day you can use your natural healing without it being a cost, or maybe a boost, like maybe it can be an either or. She can either use the healing ability this many times a day without it being a cost, or she can get the boost to mana and magic, or mana and health as one big boost. I mean, what do you think?
So I would, for Alex's one where you either boost it or vampire it or whatever.
Oh, I definitely wouldn't vampire
You want vampire? Okay.
No, that was a joke idea.
it.
Every time you level up, you have the option of sticking a different but related ability onto your legacy item. I would save that for when you hit level 2, which shouldn't take many sessions, and
Okay.
you'll be able to add that on. I would just start it with will give you like a +2 to your healing rate and a +2 to your mana base. I do not have that offhandedly. The what it is, if it's per hour, per round, per day, I forget. Um, and so we'll start with that, and you can activate it. 1, 2, 3. I'm kind of deciding right now for like a 10 to 15 boost. I think twice per day.
So would that boost both mana and health when you activate it, or is it a one or
Yes,
the other?
I'll give you both. I'll give you 10 health back and 10 mana back. Activate twice per day. Sound fair?
Sounds fine.
All right. And I'm actually going to hopefully start the stream now. Unfortunately, I do not have Vivacia in yet. Hello, everyone who may or may not be watching. Cameras are still a little screwy because we are, as of yet, missing a person. If only we weren't all adults, lives and all that annoying stuff. It gets in the way. I'm going to see if I can log in with my phone. That way my cameras get arranged properly, and if Vivacia appears, well, then she'll be able to take over the camera that I'm now trying to put in. So, 1 second. While I'm setting this up, does everyone want to go in a circle and explain to the crowd what they've done with their legacy items? Because I think we have everyone in the crowd has figured it out now.
Go ahead, Alex.
Well, I actually went for a very simple kind of convenience legacy item. My character's legacy item is a stone bracelet that he wears. He can pull it off and toss it on the ground, where it will then form into a functioning, magically fueled forge that he can use to work metal with. And then, due to him being a very strong golem, or stone skin technically, but not the point. He can pick the forge up, and upon doing so, it converts back into its bracelet form.
For my character, the legacy item I came up with, I have named the Stella Lux. It is a family heirloom amulet that has been passed down from my character's family through generations, being given to the firstborn with every new generation. What it does is it can be used to conjure up a weapon from the past, present, or future that is the stat it uses instead of like strength for a warhammer or something, or agility for a longbow. It is essentially just a magical conjured weapon through the Cell Lux, so it uses intelligence as its stat. And it can only maintain the form of a weapon for 5 minutes. And every time it is used, I'll be rolling a d12. If it lands on a 1, the conjuration fails and just dust crumbles in his hands.
Always fun. Next. Solaria, Megan, Night Sky, anyone?
So for mine, I have the 7 chakra necklace. It was the last and only item my parents actually left for me. It has 7 beads. The purple bead is the meditation bead. It helps me once a day in my meditation stage. The indigo bead, it's a life-threatening awareness bead. So it will tell me once a day if I'm in a life-threatening situation. Blue bead, it will show me, well, it will allow me to communicate in a different language once a day. And then green bead, it's a healing bead. The intelligence bead, will allow me to re-roll or add a +1. It's going to be yellow. Orange, a hint to a puzzle or a challenge. And then the last bead is red, and it will help me gain trust of somebody. And all of these beads can only be used once a day.
She's got herself the fun utility item.
Like a Swiss
Rubik's
Army
Cube.
knife for magic users.
All right.
My legacy item is a necklace that my mother had on her when she passed away. It has the ability to help me whenever I'm in grave danger. So whenever my health is below half, then I can use it to increase my armor. And if I also roll an 8 or over on it, I can ask my mother for advice.
And lastly, Night Sky.
All right, so my healing items will I guess we'll make it a sash, and it's the gift that her fairy grandmother gave her when she was born. We'll give a passive mana and health regen boost, and then 2 times per day it'll be usable to give a bolus almost of 10 points to mana and health.
All right, perfect. And don't forget, everyone needs to have named their item. If it's not named, it's inert.
Stonehenge.
I mean, if you legitimately name it Stonehenge, I'm not stopping you.
I mean, now it looks like it. It's a mini Stonehenge with a little fire in the middle.
See, now, I like the idea as your 5th level of this legacy item. It just spawns a full Stonehenge area that's just a giant crafting zone.
Do it on a boat.
Oh dear. And that's how you weaponize it.
Quick question for you. Is there a way to calculate the magic regen based off of the total magic points?
It is your mana base, and I believe it's every 30 seconds you get your base back.
How do you calculate the base?
The base is the average of your 2 class skills.
Okay, perfect. Perfect.
And you will get +1 to your mana base every level. So right here at first level, it's really super easy. But, yeah, anyway.
So +1?
Not the first level, though.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Every level thereafter.
Perfect.
Okay, do we have any other technical questions before I actually start the story?
One last one. Because with the Seanock, they get 10 magic points to attune without drawing from their pool, and it takes 5 to channel into the legacy item to be attuned to it, correct? What would you say just putting that full 10 and just keeping it on the legacy item would do for me?
Nothing really. You could have another level 1 effect after the legacy item levels, or because that would be 2 5s, so that'd give you a 10 worth.
Gotcha. So maybe just save it for another attunable.
Yeah, so right now you just have 5 that is still floating around if you were to pick up another magic item, or if you advance your legacy item. So.
Oh, and I lied. Without wearing armor right now, what is the 2 hit for my character?
So it's a contested roll.
Okay,
I will have things roll their, let's say, short blade agility. You would either roll your dodge or your you do the dodge or block.
I remember.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a little more dynamic than some other systems. Is what we're kind of going for.
You're right. Yep.
And remember, immersion bonuses are your friend. If you give me a cool story about how you are dipping and dodging between the arrows, and you have experience because your master taught you to do that by shooting barrages of arrows at you, then you'll get bonuses.
Okay, this is gonna my final lie. The thing I forgot to mention when I was just recovering the magic item was that when it's not in the form of a weapon, essentially acts as a magic orb. The item, which allows the character to, what it does, cast the spell.
Yeah.
There's no range in the handbook for the magic orb, though, so what would the range be?
Yeah, someone here would really have to write that rule as an official piece. Basically, if the range isn't specified, it's within sight.
Okay, cool.
So, we'll... this is still playtest. If, you're shooting things over the horizon, because technically it's within your sight, then that might suddenly get dropped. We'll find out.
Wait a minute. I can see the sun right now.
In 20 years or so, your orb might make it back to you. What's left of it.
One more thing.
Yeah.
So I know how it specifies for dedicated or caster classes that you just start with a token with all of your spells attached and whatnot.
Yep.
My character does not have a dedicated caster class, but he has 24 spells.
Okay.
So, how many of those can I start on a token?
Tell me a good story, and I'll tell you. Tell you how well you did.
So, when Bells first started learning to use magic from his creator, he realized very quickly that he needed a way to. He realized quickly that he wanted to learn as many different spells and as much different magic types as he could. So he needed something that he could easily add and remove runes or glyphs from. So he decided to start by getting an empty tome, and he bought a bunch of paper. As he goes, he will periodically convert the individual sheets of paper into tokens, attach glyphs to them, and then add them to his tome, which he carries hanging from his waist. If he burns all the glyphs out, which is actually kind of a problem for him, he pulls the page out, chucks it, and replaces them on a new page. Rinsing and repeating, and adding more spells as he travels and learns new things.
Okay, not bad. I like it. Very creative. Love the spell book effect. How many different schools of magic have you you put in? 8? So 3 each.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Let's see. You know what?
I'm
really deciding how nice I want to be.
I can just go through and roll to see which spells are currently haven't been burned out recently.
It's fine. Start with your 8 pages of 3 runes each. Those are all the ones you've prepped. Let's just say you've burned it enough that you don't have any more pages prepped as tokens.
I don't have any extra pages.
Yeah.
Okay. Speaking of rolling, I should get my dice.
Okay.
Nah.
Is everyone ready to go? Oh, wait.
No, I have a question.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So actually, I think if this idea is okay with you, so instead of it being a sash, can I make it a necklace and then she can keep her tokens on it like charms
Sure.
for starters?
Yeah.
And then my second question is, I also have more than one school of magic, and have a story as to why I need to start with more tokens.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll give you the short version because I'm sure you don't want all 2 pages worth of back history.
I mean, I personally would love it, but for the stream's sake, let's get the highlights.
So basically, her mom was a fairy, and she was injured in, she was attacked basically by a large creature that had gone mana-torn, large flying creature, which is where her phobia for, large aggressive flying creatures, that are more than 3 times their size comes from.
Yeah.
And her father actually was using his natural healing ability to continue to heal her mother every day, trying to help her to recuperate from this accident because she was very badly injured. And her sister and her twin sister and her saw their father burning himself out while their mother wasn't recovering, and they started learning magic to try and help their mother. And then their mother didn't make it, she died, and their father didn't last long after because he had been burning through his reserve energy to heal said mother. And so then she's done all this research, and then her twin sister is out one day because she's a mage and she was practicing, and she'd never returned, and she's been looking for her for a couple weeks, and she can't find any signs of her nearby. So she's decided she's going on a journey, and taking everything she may need because she's never coming home again unless she finds her sister. So she's taking everything that could potentially be helpful and going as prepared as possible out into the world to find her twin.
Okay. Yeah, I will give you the starting token for that then.
So I can have one for each of, is what I'm asking.
Yeah.
Because I get the one for my nature magic already, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that one is your token that has 5 pre-built into it. For the other ones, you get a starter token of 3, since you got the 3 spells for each class you picked.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
And just to remind everyone, if you want to get new spells, it's all done in-game by doing research or finding a master or using your glyph skill to study aspects of your school. Like if you were in fire, you would meditate on heat and motion and pressure and stuff like that.
I did have a question. As a monk, is there any spell casting? Because I didn't see any, so I didn't know if I was supposed to choose any spells or anything.
So the idea is that anyone can be a spellcaster. You just have to pick up the skill, and glyphs and token creation also help because you need to be able to create your tokens and stuff like that. So if you picked up those skills, you can be a spellcaster. But if you don't, then no harm done. That leaves you more mana to use magic items. All right. Any other final questions before we get this running?
Yes.
One more lie?
Maybe 2. So a 3, a third, as I have sinned in my last lie not being my last lie. Please don't forsake me. With token creation, that's not the binding thing to the character. It would be the act of inscribing glyphs upon it.
Yeah, so the token creation takes any random object. So let's... Hey, look, I have a utility knife. If I wanted to, I could run token creation on this. And based on how well I did would be how many glyphs are available to fit on it. So I have the chart right here. Give me just a sec to scroll through my pages. Let's see. So if I rolled a 12, I could get 3 glyph slots on this. So I rolled 15, I could get 5. 20 would give me 9 slots. 25 gives me 15 slots. So based on how well you roll, you just start with a token that already has 5 slots built into it for you. But this is just a knife with a little bit of magical capacity flowing through it. You need to make a glyph check, and that is the spell. That's attaching the spell to the token.
Cool. And the last thing, let's hope, if I'm wrong, then I might be summoned directly to hell. The mage starts with 2 magic books. I assume those magic books, judged off the description, basically include all the learnable spells for that school up till the 3rd order.
Yes.
Okay.
So basically you'd say, I want to learn this spell. I'm going to pull up my book. I'm going to do the research. You spend the time to do the research, 2 hours for an order 1 spell, for example. And during that time, you're basically understanding how the spell works, and you're taking your soul rune and matching it to the open glyph space. That way it creates a complete glyph.
Perfect. Awesome. Thank you.
Yep. I mean, hey, this is playtest time, and the more you understand and the more I can help the crowd understand, all 0. Oh, 1 viewer. I have a viewer. Yay. All 1 viewer understand.
The more we understand, the more we can break it.
I mean, yeah, but let's not go with the target of breaking my things.
Everyone, channel your legacy items on the sun.
And that's how you make a new god. Anyway.
So, you need the magic books to be able to change your spells later down the line. Or if you're this order or that order, do you already know all the spells? You just only have so many prepared?
No, so you don't need a book. It's just an easier way. It's a starter item, basically. You could go to a magic shop and buy a book or a scroll that has, let's say you want the spell Elevate, which is an order 1 spell. You could go ask for an Elevate rune for your school of magic and then study it and, make your glyph, make the glyph check, yada yada. So not required. And technically speaking, once you learn a spell, you know it. It's not a prepared type of thing. It's what is on the token and how many tokens you have.
So, like, when you're order 1, you get, 5 first order spells. When you're, with my druid, I got 5 first order spells at character creation.
Yep.
So are those 5 spells the only druid spells that she knows? Or did she know for however many orders?
Nope. At the moment, you know 5. That is what your character has managed to learn up to this point. To learn more, it happens in the story. So you'd say, hey, I'm going to go find a master. Or, hey, I'm going to go to a magic shop. Or I'm going to go stare at the trees and figure out how the wind moves through them.
And do you need to know what our starting equipment is that we wrote down?
Not particularly. As
Okay.
as long as you guys, have accounted for your armor and weapons for when you're doing your rolls, and I know what the classes start with since we, give you all kits.
Right, but if we bought anything extra.
I'm good. I don't need to know too terribly much. Basically,
All
it's
right.
I have this item. Okay, cool. I trust you. Your mileage may vary with other narrators, but
Right.
if you all are giving yourself thousands of gold worth of equipment, then I'll probably figure it out eventually. I said gold. Vials. We use
Magic
vials.
So I have full plate mail, 3 different warhammers.
Hey, how much starting money did you roll?
Not that much, especially since I started with medical bills.
I forgot about that.
I think I missed the segment where I was rolling starting money.
Do you have weapons? Oh, I guess your legacy item is your weapon.
Yeah, my legacy item is sort of my only offensive capability because with this character I didn't take any offensive spells on the token.
Mhm.
So that's the legacy item. There's no hitting happening.
Yeah. Okay. If you didn't, you roll 1d12 times 100 vials. That's your starting wealth to buy things, aside from the free equipment you get at the beginning.
Well, that's an 8.
All right. I will give you a minute to figure that out, but otherwise, is everyone else ready to go?
So my passive mana and health from my legacy item.
Mhm.
So would I add that to my mana base, and that would change my magic points, or is it just a
No. So, what is your mana base right now?
6?
So instead of applying 6 per 30 seconds of mana regen, you would have 8 per 30 seconds of mana regen.
And then it would be the healing rate would be 3 instead of 1.
Yeah, your constitution, your healing rate comes out to 1, I'm assuming.
Well, the highest she can have with a -3 to her con is a 3. So
Yeah. Don't worry, you'll level soon. You'll get more chance to put some con in.
Oh, I did have a question about the skills
Mhm.
because I had the Queen of Hearts from before, where it was the +2 to class skills.
Mhm.
Should I be adding that to the rank for the skills, or how should I be doing that?
Yeah, so it gets added to your ranking. Remember, all of your class skills started at 3.
Yeah.
Basically, your character has had enough experience being a ranger or an assassin or a druid or whatever that you have some experience with certain skills. So they all start at 3 because of your class. So one of yours will start at 5.
Okay.
Then, whatever skill distribution you did when you had your skill points.
All right, I've got one last question for you. So I am trying, and I cannot find my natural damage reduction. Do you just not have a natural damage reduction?
Yes, certain classes did have natural damage reduction. I'm not sure if anyone does anymore with all the redoing we've done of the abilities.
Stone Skin still get it.
Stone Skin still get it. Okay. Yeah. No, unless otherwise noted, you do not have natural damage reduction.
Okay, I'm glad that I didn't miss it.
Yeah.
I was looking pretty hard.
Like,
I mean, bucklers are cheap.
All right. Anything else? Going once, going twice. Sold. Okay. So, do you all remember kind of how I was having you guys get set up last time?
Yep, we're all getting on a boat to sail towards the Citadel, or was it away?
To Citadel.
Yeah,
So,
to-
let me give you a little more details. I'm hoping you guys kind of thought about your character backstories and kind of how you got there vaguely, and let me get the details added to it now. So, there is a city on the edge of Citadel, and I need to get on the right page of my notes to make this actually work. There it is. Okay, there is the town called Revan. It was set up 10 to 20-ish years ago at an agreement between the Seanox, elves, and a few of the other groups that have an interest in magic and the ancient ruins of Citadel. Basically, it is a place for the non-Sihanouk to come in and be able to research and study, because the Sihanouk really don't like people just wandering through the ruins. It's, kind of sacred to them. So, they set up this town. It's got all kinds of equipment in there, places for researchers to work and sleep and live, magical tools, all that kind of stuff that would be useful. There is a ship that travels up and down the coastline of Taral, and it picks people up. So for those of you who are the Sihanouk, you know that already. For those of you who are not, unless you have very high intelligence to make a roll for it, you would just know that for whatever odd reason, there is a ship that's offering free passage to Citadel. So, for whatever odd reason, either as a Sihanouk, either you're coming home or you have decided to be on this boat for some reason. Give me the story and I'll go for it. Those of you who are not Sihanouk's, for some reason you decide to go to Citadel. Whether you're running from someone and it just happened to hear in the bar that, hey, that ship over there is going to Citadel, or you're like, hey, let's go to Citadel to research. So, if everybody wants to think for a minute and kind of tell me why they ended up on this boat. And it's going to be great, because if you all are on opposite sides of Citadel on the coastline, I'm going to have to get really creative about why it didn't stop off first.
Should I start with the explanation, or?
Go for it.
Well, Bell is actually currently running from the area he used to travel and trade in, due to the slowly escalating tension between the peasants and government, and there's been increasing taxes, and he's afraid there's going to be a revolt happening there, and that's just honestly not healthy for someone that doesn't actually have a town or city to live in. And he's afraid the military or the government might try conscripting him, being a Stoneborn. So he's currently running from the area he currently knows. And, well, hey, there's a boat. It's offering free passage. That sounds great. Sure.
Okay.
Seems like a good way to get somewhere new.
Right. And what'd you say, what region were you coming from?
I don't actually have a set region. I was raised in the wilderness, so
Fair
pick
enough.
one nearby.
I'll just leave you as a filler based on everyone else. All right. Who's next for their story about why they're on this boat?
Sure, I'll go.
Go for it.
She's out journeying, trying to find her sister, so we'll assume, she heard a rumor that, a mage that looked like her was seen, or, some lead that told her she needed to go this way to find her sister. And yes, she can fly, but it's a really long trip.
Yeah, albatross.
So, and I live over forest, what is it, the Forbidden Forest or whatever over there where the fairies and
Enchanted
the
Forest.
and...
Yeah,
yeah.
Dead opposite side of the world. Yeah. Okay, perfect. Who's next?
My character, who I realize I have now not mentioned their name once, his name is Shea Volas. He was abroad from the homeland of Citadel, looking into a rumored auction of an artifact from Citadel, and was there to see if he could find information on whether there was such an auction occurring, and if he could possibly reclaim that lost relic. Whether that was successful or not.
I'd go for it either way.
It wasn't.
Okay.
He wasn't able to locate the auction.
That's a shame. All right.
I am actually also looking for a relic. My family, being in poverty, decided to steal some relics from the nearby ruins, and me being somebody who was very attuned to the ruins and loved being part of them, I went and stole one of the relics back to, put it back where it belongs. But the other one ended up being sold before I could get to it. So it's traded hands a couple of times. I'm still trying to find it. So I decided to go to the largest trading area in the region and start looking there.
Okay. What region did you go to? What region did you go to? You'd have a couple large trading regions. Bacala.
I live in it.
In the Machanja Desert, you have Thoria and the Human Orc Empire.
This is just the closest one near my hometown. It's
Okay.
a small town.
Okay. Well, so when you said the largest trading section, that was like
just nearby.
Okay. Fair enough. All right. So you'd be somewhere in Tane, basically. And Maxwell, I'm assuming you'd also be coming probably not too far from Tane, or did you head elsewhere?
Yeah, probably from Tane.
Okay. Megan, will you give me your character's name?
Yes, it's Ethna.
Ethna. All right. And Night Sky, gonna flip back around to you for a second. What was your character's name?
Alright, so let's see, how's it spelled again? Because it doesn't. It's pronounced Ifya, but it's spelled Aoise. So then the pronunciation would be capital E dash FYA.
Ethia.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. And I believe that leaves you, Shlaria.
Yes. So mine is called Kanika. The reason she's on this boat was actually the monks sent her to come and this is her mission, is to come get those individuals to come on this free boat ride so that she can get a group to actually come and look at the ruins and intermingle and actually talk to other people and understand that she is not the best.
Okay.
So it's trying to ground her.
All right. So I'm actually going to give you a little bit more storyline piece then, if you've been traveling on this boat up to now. So if you were actually brought on as a guard, they would have given you this kind of weird arm piece. It's kind of like a pauldron, which is a shoulder piece, and it has a winding kind of ribbon that leads down to a bracelet-like glove, and it is in red. You and all the other guards that are Cianox wear it on the boat. Basically, it represents that you are guards. And you would report to Miadra, who is a Cianoc mage, and she is almost always at the front of the ship, sitting in a tub of water that she's using magic to bring tendrils of it down to the ocean. So far as you can tell, she is keeping an eye on what's going on in the water nearby using her magic. So technically, she is your boss, but the actual captain of the ship is a weird little dwarf. All right. And I believe, technically speaking, with the storyline, all of you can easily be coming in through Tane, so I don't have to worry about the explanation about why they crossed through Citadel. So, yay. All right. So the story begins. You all on the various places and ports of Tane got picked up by this dwarf that was more than happy, like really happy to have people on his ship. You've been going for about 3 days now. You were on the more northern section of Tane, and you're heading back down to Citadel. It's been a fairly quiet voyage so far. You all are engaged in whatever activities pleases you. And roleplay.
How many people are on this ship, like passenger-wise?
So aside from you guys, there is about 10 guards. There is the captain himself. He seems to have a few crewmates. He's got a cook down below. He's got a dwarven boatswain who is doing the repairs and stuff like that. And you have the other Cianoc Miadra, who, like I said, basically sits at the front of the ship in a pool of water all the time. Aside from that, you have about 5 or 6 other passengers, a couple of elves, and a couple of humans.
Okay. Uh, is the captain around anywhere on the deck?
Yeah, he's generally seen walking around the top of the deck. Weirdly enough, he's very rarely at the wheel, but the ship drives perfectly. And to note, no one else is at that wheel either.
Uh, I think Shea might be interested in going to find the captain.
Okay. So you'll see him, like I said, he's walking around on deck. Just seems to be watching the water, looking around, not seeming in any particular duty at the moment.
Sure. Flag him down. Sir,
Hey, what do you... Oh, you're one of the other Cianox. What do you want?
I can't help but notice that no one's actually driving this boat.
Yes.
I can't help but think that that might not be the most efficient and most safe means of travel.
Are you questioning how I drive my boat?
Well, it doesn't seem like you're driving a
I'm
boat.
Captain Jollis I am Captain Jollis Wavehammer. My family's a master of these seas. I don't need to be at the wheel of my boat.
Does your boat drive itself?
It's a technique passed down through my family line.
That is some interesting technique. I will not lie, that is impressive.
Yes, well, that's why your foxy friends here hired me.
Well,
All right.
Wait. Oh, I see.
Hey, and Vivacia's entering.
Woo!
Hiya, hiya. Welcome to the fun. Ooh, we can't hear you.
Hi.
Oh, there we go.
I hope I haven't missed too much.
We actually just got started with the storyline piece. Real quick, we'll just backtrack. What do you need help with finishing? Do you have legacy item, spells, anything? Can you hear me? Apparently not. All right, while she's doing that, I'm going to continue. Just assume Wavehammer keeps yelling at you, ranting on about how many years he's been doing this, his family lineage. He's never had a crash. He's fought off over 100 different pirate ships, which is somewhat
Yeah,
suspicious
Shea
because
is
there's
kind
not
of sort of just standing there as like maybe the captain would have noticed just an increasingly blank face.
Eyes
Sort of
glazing
just
over.
zone. Yeah, pretty much. Just kind of fading into his own like mental tower.
All right. Eventually, he gets bored of the rant, walks off. You hear him mumbling something about needing jerky.
Snaps out of it. I suppose I'm looking for another Cianoc to talk with.
A short distance away from where you just finished that conversation, Bell is currently sitting by where he has finally managed to convince him to let him set down the forge with a small anvil, just kind of making nails at the moment. He glances over at you after you finally snap out of it. I think you actually managed to go a full minute before you started glazing over. That's better than I've seen anyone else do so far.
Was it? I feel like I could have been gone for years.
That's pretty normal. I don't think I was able to pay attention to his stories for more than 20 seconds. I think it's some kind of magic he can use.
I was going to say, I can't believe I didn't notice such powerful magic come over me. I can't imagine the benefit of such a spell. Why make someone just zone out while they're talking? I don't get it.
Shrugs. I don't know either.
Also,
but it's amusing
hold
to
on.
watch.
I'm still snapping out of it. I realize you are. Hello?
Oh, I'm Bell.
Hi, Belle. I'm Shea. I don't think I've ever seen anyone like you before.
You've never met a stone skin before?
Nope.
Well, I'd say the same to you, but I've actually met quite a few of your species over the past day.
Interesting. And you're heading to Citadel.
Oh, is that where this boat is going?
Yes. So you're heading where the boat is headed.
I'm heading anywhere that takes me away from the fighting.
Well, fortunately for you, I believe Citadel is that place.
Nice guy, were you jumping?
Oh, well, I was gonna say that I'm trying to decide if there would be somewhere near where you guys are on the boat where my hawk and I could be just sitting here listening to this.
Go ahead, butt in.
I mean, there's masts. Real quick though, Vivesha, have you managed to start hearing everything?
Yes, yes.
So,
I
that way
just
I'm listening.
I had to borrow some headphones, but
Okay, you're set up and ready to go.
well, mostly yes. I even managed to open my character sheet.
Hey, perfect. All right, let's finish off your character real quick. Coming a little late, I get life. So, what do you need to finish on your character?
Well, I haven't looked at the spells yet or the legacy item.
Let me help with the legacy item since that requires both of us, and I will leave you to pick spells in the background while we're doing the role playing.
Yes. Good choice. All right.
So your legacy item is honestly it is for character customization. You can do just about anything you want with it. Will basically you tell me kind of what you want to do. We'll set some limitations. We'll get kind of the idea figured out. We've got a couple here from the group that they developed. Alex over here as Bell has his little forge that he can summon. Maxwell can summon weaponry that he uses magic instead of his normal skills. Megan's when she goes below a certain health, she gets armored up and can contact her mother. Night Sky wanted to have a bit of a boost to her health and mana, so she can activate it to get a sudden burst of it, or just has a passive increase. And Solari's got a utility item based on chakras, which is very cool.
That is all very cool.
So anything you're thinking of? Something utility or a weapon or what?
Well, she already got that Yurumi weapon. I don't want to make that her legacy item. I thought maybe it could be my husband, something special. Maybe like the diary of the priestess who raised her. But I'm not thinking maybe that is something that she goes to because it's supposed to be like prophecy. Maybe like that she opens up just to get a hint if she's going in the right direction. If how some people will throw like knuckles to see if it's like if what they're doing is a good idea or not.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that, maybe something to get inspiration from what she's supposed to be doing next.
Sure. I can do it something like 5 times per day. You can kind of ask the book a question, and it'll give you various cryptic answers.
Oh yeah, like a ask again later.
Magic 8-ball.
Yeah, I think that would fit her kind of secluded, naive character, that she still keeps looking for guidance from the person who was supposed to guide her, who passed away too early. She doesn't know what really to do. So
Okay. So, yeah, if you like that idea, then as it levels, we can either increase times per day, or maybe it gets a bit clearer, or can add on other effects. Just depend how you want to play it.
Okay.
Hey, Brackish, just saw you're on. Journal of Premonitions, I think you're on for there. There you go.
Yeah.
And what are you naming it? Every legacy item needs a name.
Diary of the Priestess or the High Priestess.
Sure. Sounds good to me. I think Alex jokingly named his Stonehenge. Oh, it's Brackish and Haplo. Oh, okay. I see now. All I saw was Brackish at first, and I figured the rest of it was his title thing. Anyway, all right. Perfect. Like I said, I will leave you to pick spells. So, what we just did before you got on is everyone... you're not Seanock. Okay. So, all you know is that you were in a coastal region. You decided to get on this boat because you heard that it is offering free passage to Citadel. You can make any decision about why you decided to get on the boat and what led you to that.
Well, maybe some cryptic answer from the diary made me think I'm supposed to be there to,
Hey.
find a trace of my family or why, what, how.
Okay, perfect. I will take that. Easy branching. All right. So should you be? I swear I can talk. Should just be picking spells now. Do you have any other questions I can answer for you real quick?
Where on the sheet do you put the legacy item? Does it have a specific spot?
It does. It's on the third page. We forgot to change the name. It just says enchanted item.
Oh, all right. Thank you.
Yeah.
No, that was it.
We'll fix that later.
Okay.
All right. Back to the ship scene.
Well, Belle, this might be on account of me not talking to very many people at all, so forgive me if I'm saying something incorrect, but normally I'm not fond when those none of my people encroach upon Citadel, but there is a piece about you to where I'd rather welcome you to my homeland with open arms.
Well, I greatly appreciate it. I guess Belle looks a little bit confused.
Welcome. I'm saying welcome when we get there.
Well, let's see about getting there first.
Yeah, it seems the boat's got that taken care of.
So, what are you planning on doing while we're here? Well, found out that they're apparently always looking to have a few more nails, some extra nails on hand, so gestures to what he's been working on.
I'm actually heading home.
Oh, why were you away from home?
I was trying to find something that was lost, but I couldn't find it.
Something that was lost that you couldn't find. Well, there's lots of somethings around this world, so I guess that would make it hard to find it if you don't know what it is.
Sounds like
You're
we're
right.
both looking for something lost. And you look around, and there's like this little bitty fairy, up above your head.
Oh.
I should
Hello.
look up more often.
Fully did not hear you come up. Wow, that startled me.
Well, she's only like 18 inches tall. So she's literally, sitting on the mast above your head next to a bird.
Wow. I have not been paying a lot of attention to my surroundings. There is a lot of different people on this boat right now that are not Sihanouk. That is crazy.
So what are you looking for?
Me?
And would you like help?
Well, I'm not looking for anything anymore. What I was looking for was back in Tane.
Glancing up at the strangely large fairy. If you don't mind me asking, what are you doing on the boat? Or what are you up to?
I'm looking for my twin.
That sounds
missing.
difficult.
There's two of you?
There's more of you?
Right? I've never seen one of these before. How can there be more than one? It looks like somebody took a butterfly and stuck it to your face.
No,
How did
there
you
are
get
two.
like this?
I was born this way. Weren't you?
I was not born that way. I was
Forgive
born
me,
with a tail,
I'm-
not with wings.
I'm a bit speechless. It has been so long since I've engaged in conversation with numerous people that this is a lot happening. Hello to you too.
Don't worry, take your time.
Thanks.
Okay.
Sorry,
Me-
did you want a name or something? I'm not going to tell you my name.
Oh, I didn't ask. I don't
Yeah, I don't think
usually.
anyone's actually
stick
asked for
around.
names yet.
I swear, every group I'm in, like, no one ever asks for names. It's a universal thing.
Uh,
I mean, personally, I'm always curious what everyone's up to more than I am about who they are,
Yeah, that's
because
fair.
I'm going to forget their name.
Okay, as you all are clustered over there chatting, Schleria, as your character... Sorry, I'm trying to flip back and forth in my notebook here. I don't have your guys' character names memorized yet. Alright, as Kanika. So, the dwarven captain walks by. He's kind of mumbling to himself, kind of stops for a moment, looks back, looks at you. Oi, pointy is. Go make sure that the golem's not about to set my ship on fire. And he walks away.
Why am I doing this? You group, you guys, right here. You're not setting it on fire, are you?
Does the ship look like it's on fire?
I like to live, but you should talk to the winged one.
Why would we set the ship on fire?
I don't know. You don't need to swim.
That dummy of a captain asked me to come over here. He thinks he's doing something, but the mage is doing all the work for him. That's what us Seanox do. All the work.
hmm.
I don't know why he gets paid. I guess all of you are
What
going
do
to
you,
sit
what
down.
do you get paid?
I'm not getting paid right now.
Hmm.
Oh no.
Well, why did you accept this work if you're not getting paid? That just sounds like bad business.
I'm supposed to be meeting people. Something about blah 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 blah. Meet people. I'm not the best. Blah blah blah. Meditate more. Blah blah blah. Find
How's-
people to show the runes and explain the scripture. Are
How's
you
that?
guys interested?
Am I interested?
You don't even sound interested.
How's that meditating going?
Actually, I really enjoy that part.
Okay.
I just don't like doing this guard stuff. This isn't
Right.
what a monk's supposed to be doing.
I wouldn't know.
What's
No, I
a monk?
love my runes and I love my scripture. And they're forcing me to come here on a boat, being on water. Why am I on water?
Think on the
I'm
bright
supposed to
side.
be runes.
Do you not like water?
I don't mind water, but it's not where I'm supposed to be.
Hmm.
Where do you think you're supposed to be?
I'm supposed to be in my runes, protecting them.
Wow, the desire to protect the runes runs strong in you.
Don't they you?
Not to such great extent, no.
Yes, yes, I love the runes. They're so wonderful. You know, I could just be in them all day and look at them all day and play with them all day and look at them all day.
Have you
What do
been
you like to do?
potentially exposed to a mana torn recently? Are you okay?
Huh? Me?
Are you? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm just fine.
Okay. Man. Wow.
Okay, I have Vivacia. Are you about ready to get your character introduced? Kind of pull onto the scene?
Yeah, I mean, she doesn't have to cast anything right now anyway. So.
Right, yeah. Just trying to make sure your character's still acknowledged.
Yeah. So, Snix is probably somewhere stealthily hiding and just listening in, and they haven't even seen her yet. Until she will pipe up out of the background and
Well, yeah.
just.
Let's find out. So you'd be rolling your stealth.
Mhm.
Remember, so it's your skill plus the parent attribute, which would be agility for stealth. And they all get the chance to roll perception Technically
Okay,
speaking,
so
if any
this-
of them are the type, like, you know, a guard maybe, to be using discern, to be watching for people hiding or doing untoward things. But
Okay,
that's
so that's agility is 8, stealth is 3. I get +3 on stealth rules from being sneaky, and I gotta roll a d12, right?
yep.
Okay, so that's 8, 11, 14. A Timmy, and let's roll it.
Yeah, don't roll the Timmy.
And an 8. 8 plus what did I just say?
14.
14?
22.
22.
Okay, you have a 22 on your stealth. Does anybody beat a 22 with their perception rolls?
I don't think
I
a 4 is
haven't
going to
rolled
beat
yet.
that.
Uh,
No.
I'm trying to remember what attribute uses that.
So you have
Without rolling, I have a 10 to perception.
Okay, good chances. So you have your perception attribute, and if you were specifically looking for someone, which
Oh, I got a 12. Awesome.
and it explodes, you get to roll it again.
7, and then my perception is 3, so 10 plus 12.
22. But defender wins. You may occasionally get like a weird something out of the corner of your eye that you just can't quite place.
Yeah. That is a little tiny
I thought it
green
was
goblin.
just. I thought it was just during ties the player wins, so that raises an odd situation.
Yeah, I don't know if that's just Sean's rule that is not in the book yet, or if we actually put that somewhere, but it should be on ties, where it's just a direct stuff like that. It should be defender wins. Anyway, night's guy. Did you have any luck beating a 22?
No, I got a 22 as well.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Oh, that's a good roll.
That's weirdly
22,
perfect. for all
22,
that.
22.
Yeah, that's a weird one. Yeah, same effect. Occasionally, out of the corner of your eye, you see some like a little quick flash of color, but you just can't quite place it.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm
Something's
distracted.
not quite
I
right
keep
kind of
seeing something. You see that too? I swear, I keep almost seeing something.
See what?
I fully don't know.
I know. But as I was saying, I would love to show you the runes and show you the actual scripture that I've been studying for years that actually shows you what Citadel is all about and why it is the best place.
I'll stop you there. I am from Citadel.
So you understand.
Yeah, no, yeah. Pretty much. Not the monk stuff. Not that. But everything, like the Citadel, yeah, no, I get it. I know what we're about. Yeah.
Well, have you actually been able to tour the monk runes?
No, I haven't been to any monk runes. I kind of just stay within the city where I was raised.
Well, I can get you in them. There's things that most people don't get to see.
That is a somewhat enticing offer if there are things I have not seen.
There's a lot of architecture and artifacts that most people in their lives will never get to see unless they're guided by one of us monks.
Well, if that is true, it does certainly sound fascinating.
And I would
Yeah.
say, and then you hear that little voice from somewhere. Could I go too?
Please stop, all of you. I'm going to pass out.
Yeah, it's just this little red haired 3 feet 4, goblin like that sounds so cool. Can I go too?
Wow, so many little people today. Where do you guys come from? Are you born that small, or do you just grow that small,
From
or do you
the
not
cracks
grow that
in the
small?
wood behind
just
barrels,
too big.
apparently.
You're just too big. How did you grow that high?
Vegetables?
Is the air getting thin up there?
No. You should ask the fairy though.
Oh, the air is perfect up here.
See, we'll be good for a while. I'll keep eating vegetables. Don't worry, it'll be fine. So monk person, are you a Junica monk? Or Junka?
No, actually,
Because I was raised around the Junka monks. I love them. You know, they helped me get this cloak.
really.
Yes.
Slayer,
It's
do
very
you
nice
actually
cloak.
have a what's your monk's order? What their name would have been?
Yes, I gotta look it up again. I thought I wrote it down.
Okay, but I'm gonna tie your two's backstory together just a little bit. Whatever group you would be would have strong associations with the Junka monks.
Yes.
Like often trading techniques, training with each other, occasionally moving apprentices around so that they can get more experience in different types of skills, yada yada yada.
Ours was the Stratton. So, moving quickly, twisters. You're all about martial arts and everything like that. So, with the wind, and then the Junka.
The Junka are the time. They worship the
Yeah,
god of time.
The Watchers in time and balance. So we also had to
Most
learn
of the monks I
balance
grew up
stuff from them.
Yeah, most of the monks that I grew up with they just like to sit around and look at things. You know, that's why I love looking at things.
You adopted the gods of humans?
Just as a side note, the gods are universal. Generally speaking,
Ah,
each group, if they choose to worship or acknowledge a god, may actually depict them as their own species. It's like the human version of Junka might look different than the Seonok version of Junka. Though some of them tend to be more set, like Siskatha, she is just so associated with the Skra that she almost is always depicted as a Skra.
would they be considered Turellian gods?
Yes.
Ah, yes, I don't ascribe to any of the Turellian gods.
Remember, Tyrell is the entire land. Thoria is the Princian Empire. They worship the Great Prince. But that is only the human and orcs. Tyrell is everything. Citadel, Higer, Vegan Helm, the mainland mass, etc.
Yeah, Shea, he sort of worships, not even necessarily worships, just regards as the deity, magic itself, the flow of magic.
All right, fun. Okay, now everyone, as you're just kind of in the middle of your conversation, still chatting, everyone roll perception.
Oh my god, another 12.
14 total.
10. I did not do well.
13. Because it's
16.
perception plus the roll, right?
Yes.
15.
11.
13.
Okay, anyone above a 12, you would suddenly hear a splashing of water as the kitsune that sits at the front of the boat in that self-same pool, she suddenly stands up looking panicked. Same time, Shlaria, your bead that gives you a warning of things happening, I can't remember how you described the effect actually happening. It does whatever effect it does, and you feel a sense of cold, and you feel winded as if you just had run into something.
What's wrong with Athena?
So
I rolled a
my
20, by the way.
the indigo bead shines like really, really bright and then turns black.
Oh,
That's probably not good.
what was that?
That means our lives are being threatened right now.
And as she says that, quite suddenly, in front of the ship, you hear a massive roaring sound. Suddenly, a bunch of icebergs are popping out from under the water. There are dozens of them in front of the ship suddenly. you hear the Sihanouk that was in the water yelling to the captain that for some odd reason there's icebergs coming up from below the water. You hear a lot of dwarven swearing, and he goes and runs up to the actual ship's wheel.
He's
Shay-
actually driving. That's probably not good.
Shea will run up to the ship's wheel too. Hey, Cap. What's going on?
I don't bloody well know. Some sort of blasted magic that's interfering with mine. Sorry. Real cough. A little bit too excited there. Some blasted magic that's interfering with mine. I don't know where these bloody icebergs are coming from, but you and anyone else who's skilled enough that's more than just these researchers, I'd better be helping or we're going to be crashing. I'm fast, but the ship does not turn that fast.
Can I place my hand on the somewhere near the steering wheel and be like, channel 5 magic points into the steering wheel?
Sure. But they're done in sets of 2, by the way, so it'd be 4 or 6.
Okay, gotcha. So 6.
Okay, any particular intention you're putting behind that? You're just channeling it.
To try and increase the movement control capabilities of the ship.
Okay. Let's roll that. Generally, to channel like that, it'd be a willpower roll.
Okay.
Nika's gonna have her blow
That's
dart
gonna
gun out
be
and her dagger.
a 19 on the willpower roll.
All right. Yeah, you feel almost a connection to the ship for a second there. And you get like a vague sense of the captain as well. But he actually looks at you. All right, not bad.
I think I'm beginning to understand.
All right, I'm going to round robin it. So there are dozens of icebergs around. The captain's basically yelling, do anything you can to get around them. I'll put the captain, let's just between Megan and Vivacia. And I'm just going to go in order I have on screen. So, Alex, you are next.
Bell, who's actually been sitting down for this entire conversation, almost looking like he's resting, quickly gets up, picks up one of the large rocks that makes the forge, and upon lifting it, it converts into a stone bracelet, which he quickly slides on. As he starts moving towards the helm, you notice that his body is covered in grooves, has grooves and carvings that have started to slowly glow blue, revealing his body to be covered in glyphs that have been dormant until now. Upon reaching the captain, he has already started casting a spell, which he then attempts to apply to the captain to assist him. And I am attempting to cast Minor Bless on him. So let's see, get a roll to 10 plus my life, which is a +7, so I got 17 on that.
That's a
Should be
success.
enough for the spell to go off.
Yep.
So let's see, that lasts for 10 turns.
Wow.
I really like my dice likes 10. And so he gets an additional D4 on all rolls for the next 10 turns.
Good rolls. Very nice. All right. Aye. Thank you, my... You're weird. Whatever you are, thank you.
I get that a lot.
Okay. Megan. As Ethna.
I am going to, I don't have a lot that I can do right now. So I am going to go ahead and look around trying to discern if there's anybody around that might be controlling this.
Okay.
Or where it might be coming from.
Yeah.
I got an 18.
18. Not bad. So with that, you discern that, ice floats. So obviously it's coming up from below. You would imagine that something has to be going on down in the water to actually be making ice coming up like that. So you take a look on the side of the ship and you see some weird darting shadows not too far from the ship. And they are deep in the water.
I'm just gonna go ahead and tell everybody. Guys, just so you know, there's something in the water. It looks like it's... No. Underneath that, the little shadows, it's like really big fish. I wonder what they could be. Why is there fish next to the icebergs?
So you actually, that Seanock that was in the pool of water, she yells, "She's right! There is some strange creatures down below causing this to happen."
I don't know what they are, but I got an idea.
And you actually hear Captain Wavehammer shouting something about, well, it's not pirates.
So I did roll her impulsive thing in.
I can't
Dude.
see it. What is it?
I
What
left
is
it.
it?
Where
It's
is it
a
out?
one.
Oh,
It's a one.
oh,
no.
dear.
So when she hears that, she will probably jump on. Snix will jump on the closest iceberg and try and shoot at the fish with her crossbow.
All right. I like it. I like it. Okay, so it's going to be, since it's still kind of hard to see, let's get you on the iceberg first. Okay, so tell me how you're jumping from a ship to an iceberg. What is your character's approach for it?
Since she got athletics and she would probably just try and jump on and then just launch herself, run and jump for it.
Okay.
Jump.
All right, I'll give you +1 for the determination there. Okay, roll it. See if you can make it to the iceberg.
All right. Okay, so that's a 12. That is that agility since it's acrobatics?
Yep.
Okay, so agility is 8 plus the 12 roll plus.
You rolled a 12. You get to roll again. It explodes.
Oh, well, let me do the math first.
Okay.
Okay, so 8 agility, 1 athletics, 12, 21, and an 11.
Wow.
32. I'm so bad at math.
Okay.
Very determined
Apparently
little
good at
green
jumping.
goblin with red hair. You see her flying.
Yeah, like the
Like
wind,
Mario.
The wind almost seems to carry you as you jump from the deck, jumping off the railing, and again, it's almost like the wind itself is helping you push
under the
forward. Cloak flailing, and you land perfectly on the nearest iceberg. Okay, now you need to take your shot.
Yes.
And you're going to be at a -4 for this one since there is no clear sight of what's going on. It's just a quick shadow flickering by.
All right, so tell me what I got to roll for that crossbow. That in our is it? What is
So
that?
there is an actual crossbow skill that you could have picked up.
Yep, 1.
Okay, so it's your crossbow plus your agility plus your roll. -4.
All right, so that's 9 plus the roll. All right. That's 11.
That's pretty
11.
good. So 20 total -4?
11
Oh, is this 11 total?
total.
Okay.
11 total.
Okay. All right, let me see. It's not as far off as you might have thought, but you shoot and the shadows seem to not change their pattern at all. They're still just dashing around in the water. So combat hasn't quite started yet. Night Sky, as you return. What are you... Oh, we actually skipped
I'm
poor...
watching everybody, trying to decide what I can do.
Fair enough.
So, just to make sure I'm right on this, so we have Alex and Maxwell standing next to the captain at the wheel. Vivacia just jumped onto an iceberg. Megan and Schler are still in the same spot, basically.
Megan's off to the side. She spotted the creatures over
So
the
she's
wind
like
water.
at the edge of the rail or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's a 12 for the roll. Perception we already did. Sorry. Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna do. I'm gonna cast Environment Commune.
Okay. Go ahead and cast it.
So that's a D12, right? I gotta
Mhm.
look it up. Sorry.
Yeah. It is whatever school that you picked up environment commute in, and that will be the skill check, plus your intelligence, plus the actual roll. Oh, and while I'm thinking about it, by the way, every time you've succeeded at any of your rolls, you will put a little tick mark in your boxes. That way your skills are going up. No one has done any critical successes yet. If you did, you would get 2.
Channeling magic isn't a skill, though, right?
No.
Okay, gotcha.
I thought
Right,
channeling
so-
magic was a skill.
It used to be. We just put it as its own separate ability that ties into like willpower or other skills depending how you use channel magic.
Ah.
So basically, she's just, sitting there on the mast still up in the, and she just, she sits there for a minute and just closes her eyes, almost like she's meditating. All right, so it's the D12 we said. So the caster learns about the terrain in a 1d6-mile circle around themselves.
Mm-hmm. Which I'll also give you some depth.
All right. So then I would just roll the 12, right, to see with all the things, or is...
All right, so it's a first order spell, and it's not targeting anyone specifically. So all you need to do is get a 12 for the spell to actually cast.
Right, and then so it's I have to roll a 12, or everything total comes to a 12.
Yeah, everything total: your skill plus your attribute plus your roll.
So intelligence is 6, the skill is 5, so I just need a 1.
Hey, there you go.
Don't roll a 1.
Yeah.
And I rolled a 10.
Okay, yeah.
So 20.
Very nice. Roll your dice 6 to see just how far out you are going to be able to sense.
And I rolled a 6.
Wow. Okay, so in a huge area around you for about mile and a half, there are just tons of icebergs that have suddenly appeared. You get the sense below the water. There are a few larger creatures, but they seem fairly passive, like whales or sharks. However, you get this sense of these odd, unusual creatures that are... They're magical. They have a lot of water magic to them, but they feel bestial, not intelligent.
Does it tell me, how many can I feel in that?
You feel about 5.
Okay, so I tell everybody what I feel.
Okay.
Because the captain kind of needs to know that stuff.
Yeah. Well, roleplay it.
Okay. All right, everybody. So there's lots of icebergs. We already knew that, and there's sharks and whales. But there's some really weird creatures down there. They kind of feel like beasts with water magic, and I can tell there's at least 5 of them down there. So
How big are they? I'm gonna ask things you don't know.
They're about the size of they're about the size of an average Cianoc, so about the size of a human.
they're about Seanock size.
Hmm.
Okay, Solaria, what are you doing?
You know where they are?
You
You know
said
the
the
location?
first 1.5 miles was icebergs.
It's all icebergs.
Station?
And then how far out were these?
They are nearby. They're circling around within about a mile.
They're within the mile of the boat.
I was just trying to figure out if any of them are like within 30 feet of me, or 30 yards.
Yeah, why not? Roll luck.
Okay, I'm gonna try to use my blowgun at one that's up to 30 yards from me.
No, I'm saying roll luck first. We're going to see if you're lucky and one of their paths just happened to get within your blowgun range.
That's not good. Seahawks aren't very lucky.
Yeah, I often regret not putting more luck into my characters, but,
14.
14. Wow.
I
Yeah.
rolled 12.
Oh, then it explodes. You can roll again. You might be really lucky.
21.
All right. With that, yeah, you actually see one of the shadows as it makes one of its turns, and it's approaching directly at the portion of the ship you happen to be standing on.
Okay. I'm gonna be trying my blowgun to get it.
Okay. Take the
Uh,
shot,
what
and
is-
since you're pretty aware of where they're at, you're not going to be at any minuses.
What is that under for blowguns? Or is it just the 1d6?
Would be... Oh...
Because I couldn't find it under anything.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember.
Because it's not like under the archery type stuff or even like the crossbow. Like it's not under. I thought it might be an agility type thing.
Yeah.
That's where I.
Yeah, weirdly enough, I'm like sitting here going, I don't remember we added a blowgun, but I don't remember what it was supposed to tie back to. Okay, did you pick up any weapon skills by chance?
Most of it is like martial arts and acrobatics and stuff.
Okay. Okay. Spin me a quick story. How long have you used a blowgun for? Like, what's your experience with it?
So, the blowgun was what the monks taught as a protection weapon while we were training our martial arts because we weren't always going to have close combat. Sometimes when we were the weaker of the two individuals, we needed something to leverage us to be able to make sure that we won. So sometimes we weren't always looking to completely disable or kill somebody, but just knock them unconscious. So we weren't always using darts to actually kill the person, but just simply to put them to sleep.
Okay. With that story and history, for now I'm going to patch this by saying that you get a special skill. You get blowgun at level 3. What?
It is a skill. It's thrown weapons.
Is that what we consider that? Thrown weapon?
Yeah, it's in thrown weapons. I remember when I was editing the weapons, I made a joke about you need to clarify you don't throw the blowgun tube.
Fair enough. Okay, do you have thrown weapons, Shlaria?
No.
All right, take
Yeah,
it.
because from the newest guide that I just pulled today, it still says that it just has such as knives and throwing axes.
I'll edit it to put blowguns in later. For now, since you
it's
didn't
actually in the weapons list.
Oh, okay.
For
you
now,
have to actually go to the weapons to find it.
Yeah. For now, since you didn't know, take a thrown weapon at like 2 or 3.
Okay.
We'll talk about switching your skills around to make that work out a little bit later.
Okay.
Okay. So, skill plus agility plus your roll.
So it would be the 12.
12 total, or did you roll a 12?
So so do I do the 1d12 first? Or what do I roll?
So, okay, whatever I'm asking you to use a skill, I'll say, roll your, in this case, thrown weapon. So you have your thrown weapon has a value, your agility, which is its parent's attribute, has a value, then you roll and add all 3 of them together.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
if you
'cause-
happen to roll a 12, you get to roll again because it explodes. If you roll a 1, well, then you start to go with critical failures, and we'll talk about that if you roll a 1.
Well, I meant, do I roll the 1d12 or the 12
Yes.
die? Okay. No, I rolled a 5.
Okay, so what's it all total up to?
14.
14. Ooh, you just barely miss. Your dart hits the water and just barely too late, just slips past it. Close,
course.
very close.
So close.
All right. Technically speaking, we still haven't started combat, which is hilarious. All right. So suddenly, you all feel the ship lurch as the iceberg in front of you just barely dodged by Captain Wavehammer, who is still doing a lot of dwarven swearing and yelling something about ice pirates.
Write these words down.
You probably learned a lot of new ones. So you see that, unfortunately, directly ahead of you are two icebergs and not enough space to go between them. He does not have much time. He yells out to you, "Someone's gonna need to get rid of those somehow, or it's about to be very bumpy!"
Okay. I'll turn to him and say, "You want to make it through this, right?"
I prefer to make it through this patch of icebergs however possible. We can go under, we can go over, we can go through, as long as the ship remains in one piece.
Okay, you swear on your life, anyone who asks about what kind of magic this is, you say water magic, and I'll say, try and save the ship.
Yes, it's water magic you're doing. I don't care. Do it.
Okay, I'll grab the steering wheel again, and I'll channel 50 magic points into it.
Do you have that much magic points? Wow.
I do.
All right.
I will channel it with the intention of projecting time magic through the water to the icebergs to like rapidly accelerate the time of their existence to where they're melting.
Okay. Wow. I like it. I like it a lot. So just to make sure, like test games, it's hard at level 1 to have 50 plus even having you're with an attuned item. Just make sure we get all the math correct.
Yep. I've got 9 intelligence and 9 willpower, and then I have magical flow.
Okay, so that should get you to 54.
Yep. And then Sihanouk for the attune.
Oh, right. Okay, I forgot about that. Thank you. Okay, like I said, it's rare for most people to get above about 48.
Yeah.
So I was like, wow, that's
well
done.
We went full into it.
All right, good build. Okay. Yeah, so roll your willpower to basically will that to happen.
Cool. That is a... Would I add my time magic to this?
In this case, I'm going to go for it. Would normally split skills and attributes, but... Yeah, actually, no. Shift it to your intelligence. So yeah, do your magic roll and do it with your intelligence attribute.
Okay, then that's going to be a 14.
14?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, suddenly in front of you, those two icebergs just split apart, and for a moment, they are fully in the in their iceberg shape, just as a giant thing of water. And just as suddenly, it all collapses down into the ocean. There are no more icebergs directly in front of you. There is still one about 50, 60 feet out, but the captain doesn't seem like he's going to have much trouble with that.
Holy cow, that I didn't know if that would work.
Meanwhile, Vivacious lets you know, after all that dodging, technically speaking, you are now behind the ship. Still close enough to get back on, but, you know, factor that in. All right, Alex.
So Belle, upon hearing that there's something swimming in the water, rushes over to the side where, what was it, Megan's character that was pointing them out?
Yes.
Remember those? Yeah. I rush over there and look over and try to spot the creatures that are being pointed out.
Roll perception.
Upon seeing,
You know they're there, but it's still kind of uncertain. They're still shadowy drops in the water. They're not super obvious, so I'm still need to be able to catch sight of them.
Upon figuring out roughly where they are,
Okay.
he starts channeling water magic through one of his hands.
Okay.
He proceeds to then draw several glyphs in the air in front of himself, and then letting them drop, they hit the water and almost arc like lightning down to one of the creatures. I am attempting to cast buoyancy on one of them.
Okay, that's a fun one. I thought buoyancy was a touch spell.
It didn't have a range.
All right, fair enough. Then it's within sight.
And I rolled a 12.
Oh boy.
This ought to get amusing. And an 11.
Oh.
Jeez.
You may be about to critical here.
Apparently, I just need to roll D12s. 23. That is 29.
Jesus. Okay. Give me just a quick second. Yeah, congratulations. You criticaled.
Woo!
All right. As you cast
Look at one of these.
buoyancy, the shape is suddenly brought to the surface, and it is struggling to get back down. It looks something like a hag-like mermaid. It is not beautiful at all. It is gray-scaled, an old lady for the upper body part. They seem to have like crude glyph necklaces that she's wearing. And she has a pack with a pouch. And as she looks up and sees you, her eyes go wild. She stops trying to go down, and as best she can, being as she's stuck on the surface, starts swimming rapidly toward the ship.
Hey, I found what we're dealing with.
The captain goes over. Ah, damn it! We're dealing with the water hags.
Water hags?
Ugh. Normally, they're passive creatures. They don't like being looked at, but so long as you don't stare at them and they stay deep in the water, so that's not generally possible, and they stay away from you. For
Big
whatever odd
silver.
reason, these ones are attacking.
Oh yeah, no, I much prefer not to look at these, so it won't be a problem for me.
Sorry, too late.
Ugh. Now, see, she's not going to want to stop until you're dead. Luckily, you're up on the ship, and, well, she's... He kind of, glanced over. Yeah, she's not getting anywhere soon.
Fish!
Anyway, over to Megan's turn now.
I quickly drop my pack to the floor. I pull out a huge thing of rope. I tie it to my dagger and chuck it off the ship.
All right.
The only thrown things I have are daggers. I'm not gonna get those back.
I'm debating if I want to take off one or two for the weird weight of the rope attached to it now.
Depends. How close is the hag?
Yeah, let's call it about 30 feet. I don't think
Okay,
that would
does the
affect
weight
it
of
too
the rope help it go down?
much. Let's say it all evens out.
Okay.
All right. Okay. What'd you roll? And
What am I supposed to be rolling for? Ooh, I got a 12!
Yellow rolled lots of 12s tonight. Wow.
I know, it's great timing. I'm
That-
gonna assume that it's just I'm using a dagger as a thrown weapon, so
If you have thrown weapon, yeah. Otherwise,
I
you're doing it
do.
just off your agility. Oh, cool.
so that is a 18.
It lands about 3 feet from her head. Close, but not quite.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, they're decently agile. Okay. See, I'm conflicted because Alex technically has it up in the air, so you know what it is. But technically, we haven't started combat yet. I'm gonna let everyone finish up their turn with you three remaining, and I'll start the actual combat initiative. All right, Vivacia.
We're not. Yeah, she will definitely try after she missed try and jump back on the boat so she doesn't get left behind.
Okay, there'll be another athletics to come back, and tell me how you're gonna deal with the slippery ice.
Trust in her climbing boots because they're made as an assassin. They're supposed to help her climb. So they have a good grip.
Yeah, I'll give you +1 for creativity on that. Oh, Alex, I probably should have given you an immersion bonus, but you did so well anyway. You're fine.
Right, so,
I did still crit.
8 plus, I swear, 1. That's 9. That's 16.
16.
16.
It gets you
That's what I
mostly.
rolled.
It gets you mostly back to the boat. You're kind of stuck on the
You told
railing
me
at
you,
this
you
point.
gave me how much extra?
The +1.
All right, then 17.
17. Okay, I'm gonna tell you, you need an 18. So basically, you're mostly there, but you're kind of hanging on the railing.
All right.
You'll figure
Alright,
it out. You'll be
alright.
fine. You'll be fine.
Yeah, like I just got to pull myself up. Quick side thing. The weapon that I decided I decided to call it a streamer blade, you know, the Urumi.
Yeah.
Would you put that on the same damage as a chain whip or as a cat o' nine?
Based
If
on
it's
how
like 1d8 or 1d10, because it's basically, you know, like these thin, almost like, you know, these thin metal
yeah, no, I get it.
blades that kind of whoop with sharp edges. So I don't know if that would be more a d8 or a d10 because they don't have as much. I mean, there's multiple, but
Go for a D10. Go for a D10.
right. Okay.
All right, Night Sky, what you got?
Well, everybody's on the boat now. And technically, so are they following the ship, like as the captain is sailing the ship?
They're staying pretty circular with it. They're not like chasing you per se, but they're circling the ship and staying around you. Sometimes they're drawing closer, sometimes they're not. Mostly they seem to be waiting.
They seem to be waiting.
Mm-hmm.
so
Remember,
the captain-
they summoned a bunch of icebergs for you. Like they expect you to crash eventually.
Where's that? Sorry. So they're bestial in nature, but he said they're sea hags, so they're not animals, right?
They're basically animals, but not technically. Druid abilities wouldn't work on them.
Stop doing that.
Quick question. Are we like in rounds, just not like combat rounds right now?
Yeah, I did. So it's called round robin. I just made sure everyone had a chance to do something. But
Okay.
technically, but before the combat started, it was more of I figured you would try and be dodging the icebergs. I didn't realize you all were going to figure out who was doing it so quickly.
Would then with quick reflexes, could I just like have as another action for this round have summoned try to summon a warbow with Stella Lux?
Yeah, go for it.
Cool. That's a 2, so we're good.
Yeah,
I had a sadness, Kenny. I forgot to add another roll to my 12.
Oh,
I know it's too late, but I just wanted to share my sadness.
I feel it.
I guess I can try and shoot one with my bow, but that's gonna be interesting.
Oh, there's still one that's buoyant on the surface and angrily thrashing around, trying to go back underwater. Well, half trying to go back underwater,
I
half trying to kill Alex.
I think so. Calm animal wouldn't work on it because it's not technically an animal.
Mm-hmm.
But couldn't I use soothe?
Yes.
What, baby? Not right now.
Who's that?
That is my narrator.
Hello, Narrator.
Hello. How's it going?
All right. So, what do I need to hit?
So you're going to be going against its resist magic.
So then I make a roll with the d12.
Yep.
That's my nature magic and my intelligence, right?
Yep. And I have a number over here that's been generated that they're trying to resist the magic affecting them, so you'll be rolling against that.
1. I roll a 21.
Okay, that is enough to overwhelm them. So remind me specifically what Soothe does.
So, and I rolled an 11, by the way, for my d12 just now. Because Soothe is, you target is calmed and feels peaceful, and the duration is 1d12 rounds. And I rolled an 11.
Okay. That'll do. Okay, so it seems to stop trying to kill Belle, and it seems more focused on diving down and getting frustrated that it can't dive down. And somehow you all switch positions, so I'm going to be rearranging cameras here for a second. So, while I do that, Shlaria, what are you doing?
I am going to try to go against another one with the blowgun.
Okay.
Because that's the only range stuff that I have.
Yeah.
Do I need to do the luck roll again?
No. Now there's one floating on the surface. If you wanted to try and hit a different one, yeah, it'd probably require some luck.
Oh, no. I was just going to go after the same one again. So, same one, I don't have to do the luck again?
Yeah. Just roll your blowgun.
$17.
Okay. So with your blowgun, it is very close. You actually do hit, so we're going to actually have you roll location.
How do I do location?
Roll a die 12. So 1 would be an incidental hit. It would be something that's not a major spot, so like the edge of the fin or something. Your 2 through 9 is a basic hit, so like a limb. 10 and 11 is a like hitting somewhere in the center of the body, an important place, and 12 is a headshot.
It was 9.
It was 9? Okay.
Yes.
So that would be one of the arms. So you actually hit one of her arms and roll for damage.
And then I got a 2 for
2 for damage?
the 1d6.
Sorry, you kind of cut out there for a sec. Could you repeat that?
2.
2 damage? Okay. And with that, let's actually roll initiative, because now we're officially in combat.
Ooh.
Two?
I rolled a 3. I have a -1 initiative.
Fantastic.
My initiative base is 6, and I rolled a 10.
I rolled a 2, and I have a 5 initiative base, so that's a 7.
I have a 7 as well.
10 for me.
Okay,
I
sorry.
apparently forgot to figure out my initiative base.
So it's your agility plus your perception plus your intelligence divided by 3.
Divided by 3.
Yep. Sorry, I think I mixed everyone's rolls up. Maxwell, will you give me yours again?
7.
Okay. Alex?
2.
Megan?
10.
Vivesha?
16.
Shlaria?
7.
And Night Sky, have you got your initiative figured out?
Yeah, so my initiative base is apparently a 6.
So you roll and add your initiative.
So I rolled a 7. So 7 and 6 is 13. However, that being said, I have a -4 to initiative.
Same.
So that's 9 total.
Yes.
All right, we got everyone's here. Let me get them figured out. Put you all in order. Maxwell and Shlaria, so you actually tied on your initiative. What are your agility scores? Because that's the tiebreaker.
5.
I have 6.
Okay, so Schleyer will go first. Between you two, not between everyone. Okay, so this should be the order. We have Viv, we have Captain and crew, we have the Hags, we have Megan, we have Schlaria, we have Maxwell, we have Alex. And, oh, sorry, Night Sky, I forgot to, when I was doing the order. You are 9, so you are going to be just after Megan. All right. So, as the captain is still driving the ship, he seems to have a decent amount of room now. He's gotten away from the really close ones that he was dealing with. Near the front, you actually hear a thud, followed very quickly by a couple of booms. From the front of the cannon, 2 cannonballs fly. So from the front of the ship, 2 cannonballs fly out at the iceberg that's not too far ahead. And it chips it in half. So that one actually splits up rather nicely. The various Shianok guards are trying to move around, get focused. A couple make some shots over at the hag that is floating around with those that actually have ranged weaponry. And as I'm rolling over here, they crit fail. So you see one of the Shianoks drop their bow in the water. Hey, thank you, Lost Cat. Appreciate the follow. Yeah, so one of the Shianoks drops their bow in the water. They're not doing great over there. And the one that was the one that was in the pool of water that warned everyone that they were coming, she just got a 12, so. In a not too dissimilar maneuver to Belle, you actually see a orb of water shoot out from her pool toward a section of the ocean, and suddenly another one is buoyant and floating at the surface, struggling around. So,
a convenient spell for fighting water swimming creatures.
Right? Not the way I expected that to be used, but I like it. It's more of keep that idiot from drowning. It's very reverse use of it. All right. And as the hags. So the one that just got pulled up is still aggressive and angry and is... Let's see. Yeah, I'm just going to assume it looks at the Shianok. So it starts angrily, breaststroking to her. Doesn't quite make it to the ship, and the other one is still desperately trying to go down. Frankly, Alex, it's going to try and break your magic forever, but I don't think it's ever going to do it until it gets a couple 12s on its own, so just assume that was the free shot. Meanwhile, the other shadows are darting around down below, and you actually see another iceberg up here behind you. So, they're still occasionally getting them at you. And with that, we move to Megan. Wait, did I end up skipping you, Viv? I'm so sorry.
Yes.
I don't know what. You should have yelled
It's
at me
because
for
she's
that.
hanging off the edge of the ship.
I mean, you still get you still get your round to do what you need to do. Anyway, I'm so sorry.
While she's hanging there, can she see any of the hags within 60 yards?
Roll luck.
Luck.
And I'm giving you a bonus because I did actually already mention that iceberg's coming up behind you, so they're clearly back there.
Luck.
It is an attribute.
Very
bottom.
There you go. Okay, so that's a 15.
Yeah, conveniently there is one swimming right by you.
All right. So so she wants to shoot it with her hand crossbow, and then see can she move right after and then try and climb up, or does she have to do one or the other?
So how combat works is you get 10 seconds. Anything that your character can reasonably do within that 10 seconds, you can do. So describe it to me, and remember, you have an immersion bonus. The better you describe something, the more bonus I will give you. So basically, rule of cool, make it sound awesome.
All right. So since she's hanging from the edge and with her left hand, and she would whip the crossbow around that she would still have in her hand. It's a hand crossbow because she had it in her hand when she was on the thing, and she was jumping for the ship, so she would never even let it go. And she would just fire at the hag, and then just pull herself up and with the swing and try and roll herself with her feet up over the thing with her athletics. Try to see if she can get her skinny butt up there.
Okay. I will give you a +3 for an interesting description. So you're going to be one roll to actually make the shot, and the other roll will be to actually get back up. So your first one will be your crossbow skill.
Okay, and that's agility. So that's 9. Oh, that's a 12. So that's 21. 26.
26, and they rolled 21 total. That's a hit. So roll for location. Where do you hit the hag?
Okay, which die do I use for that?
12.
Right, because I also need a 4 if I actually hit. That's a 7.
7, so that would be the left arm, I believe. So you hit for the 4 amount of damage?
It says 1d4.
Okay,
I
so
gotta roll.
yeah, roll your damage.
I was looking for my d4.
Yeah.
3.
Okay.
Left arm for 3 points.
Okay, 3 damage dealt.
All right, and then I gotta see if I can make it back up on the ship.
Yep.
That's agility. Seriously, so much math. 8. That's 9. I gotta get better at math.
It's a useful skill in TTRPG world.
Okay, so that how did I roll another 12? 21 is the sparkly dice. And why they're sparkly dice?
I mean,
and an 11.
All right, so what's your total?
It is 23 plus 9. That is 32.
32. That's a critical. So that's a critical
She-
success. You can mark off 2 there. And you can roll.
Totally way too cool. Swings herself back up there, the cape flaring.
There you go. You know, as you land, a couple of seagulls fly dramatically out behind you, framing it in a mystical and epic way.
The seagulls come from.
All right, well done. Megan, your turn.
All right. Well, I go ahead and pull back in my handy dandy dagger, and I'll go ahead and just rethrow it.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I have no magic, so I'm a little useless without close quarters.
It's when you get creative and start giving me rule of cool.
All right, so I got a 14.
14? So it rolled really low. Yeah, you hit.
Yay!
And you get an interesting thing now that you have a rope attached to a sea hag.
Right?
You'll see why here in just a minute. It gets even more fun. Okay, roll location.
Oh, this is gonna be bad. Okay. I'm rolling what?
Location.
Location?
Mm-hmm.
What do I roll for that?
Die 12.
I got an 8.
8. Another arm shot. You guys are just really hitting them in the arms. Okay. And how much damage?
6.
6. Very nice.
I did something.
Yay. All right. So I'll give you a few more seconds if you want to do anything else. Don't quite know if you have enough time to reel and rethrow, but
Yeah, I don't think I would have enough time to reel and rethrow. I am going to look around and see if anybody else looks like they need help.
I mean, as you're looking around, everyone's still kind of finishing their last task, except for the goblin, which just flung herself dramatically and elegantly over the back of the ship. She seems fine.
I don't have any rope to throw her, so we'll call that good.
All right. So next was Night Sky.
Well, not really much I can do here. I guess I will try and use the longbow and shoot something in the water. So this will be interesting. And I'm sorry if I shoot anybody.
You can't do worse than
Luckily-
Sianok that dropped his bow. I mean,
Well, luckily, 2 of them aren't actually in the water right now. They're on the surface.
This is true, but if we can save one of them for questioning, it's always helpful. And I did cast Calm for 11 rounds on the one, sitting on the ship floating in the air.
Like I said, it's still just trying to go back into the water and being really frustrated that it just can't.
Oh,
Right.
I did forget to roll that. I just did. It was 9 rounds.
Okay.
So I do not have the archery skill. So do I add anything?
No, like I said, if you give me a really cool description. Okay, let me give you guys a reminder on immersion bonus. So I will award you 1, 3, or 5 points, depending on the story you give me. A 1 is just a more interesting description than I swing the sword, or I pull back the arrow and shoot. A 3 is like an in-depth, really creative description, and a 5-point bonus usually has to tie back to your character's personal story, their history. So it would be not just I fire the bow, it's I channel my experience working on the longboats and hunting whales with a bow and using my experience with that to draw and aim, something like that, where it goes really in-depth to your character. So, I just want to remind you, you have the immersion bonus, so you can Rule of Cool it.
She has this awesome longbow that her dad tried to teach her to use in the woods, but since she has no interest in killing animals, she just never really quite put her all into it. She's still sitting up on the mast, and so she can see the things down in the water that she sensed. And she's gonna try and shoot one of them, not necessarily to kill it, but make it go away. But and I have a longbow, and I rolled a 9.
I'll give you a +3.
Um,
Also, still be adding agility.
Yes.
okay, so
Now, which
9
one are you
plus-
aiming at? The one that was calmed, or the other one that the?
No. I'm leaving the calmed one alone because there's always the hope that we can find out information. So 9 plus 3 plus 5 is 7. 5 and 3 is 8, and 9 is 17. Minus 3 is 14.
Where'd the
To
minus
hit?
3 come in?
I have clumsy, so I have minus 3 to agility.
Ah, that would do it. Okay. Right then, and just tell me which one were you actually shooting for? Is it the other one that got pulled up by the Sianok? It was the one behind that Viv shot?
I was aiming back in the back where Viv was.
Okay, so that one. All right. And it rolls. And 18. That is a miss. All right. Next up, Shlaria.
Sorry, I wouldn't unmute for some reason.
All good?
Is the one that's I've been shooting at still right in front of me?
Was that one of the ones that they made buoyant, or was that one of the ones that was swimming under the water still?
It was still swimming in the water. It was just close by.
Yeah, so by now it would have passed under the boat. But you do have a couple that are conveniently floating near the surface.
Okay, so I'll need to do another luck throw then.
Yeah, if you want to catch one of the ones that are still below the water.
Yeah, I'll do a luck throw to see if I can get one of the ones that are within 30 yards.
Okay.
I got an 8.
Looking around, you don't see any that are nearby. You see that your companions have been shooting toward the back of the boat, So you may be able to head over there and find one. Or you do know that on the opposite side from you, they've been enchanting them to where they're kind of stuck floating on the surface.
Because I saw that new iceberg show up in the back of the boat,
Mm-hmm.
I'll go back there and see if I can find one of the ones, thinking maybe it swam over there.
Yeah. Yeah, you do see one, especially right as being as Night Sky was right before you. You see an arrow shoot down and almost hit one of them, so you've got a clear sight at it, even if it's still below the surface.
Okay. I will try for that one, doing the blowgun again.
Okay.
$16.
16. That's a hit. Roll for location.
4.
4. That would be leg, fin. Yep, somewhere in the fin area. And damage.
5.
5. Awesome. All right, Maxwell.
Right. What Shea is going to do is with that warbow he summoned with the Stella Lux, he's going to run over to a side of the ship where there's a buoyant sea hag. And he puts one leg up on the railing of the ship, draws the bow back, obviously with magic, not physical strength.
Right.
And you'd see the string would sort of flash with a blue that would hit the hand, go back through the thing, and then converge at a point in the arrowhead where it looked like the sun briefly hit a mirror that was being redirected. Just a flash of blue light. And as he's staring down at the sea hag, he'd blink real quick to try to channel his time magic to envision what it would look like for the arrow to strike true.
All right. I'll give you +3 on that one. That was a really nice description. I like it.
Thank you. Okay, that's going to be a 16 to hit.
16 to hit. It critical. Let's see how bad.
Ooh.
Yeah, it basically just like threw itself up to you. Okay. Yeah, you definitely hit. And you can take 2 successes on, I guess technically it's your item, so it's not really tying back to... Yeah, that really doesn't tie back to anything, does it?
Archery.
Oh! Sure, if you want to start taking points in archery, I'll go for it. Technically, you just got 2 successes in it.
Actually, as one of my skills at the beginning, I had assigned 2 to archery and
nice.
2 to longsword.
Nice, nice.
So I'm rolling to hit, or where it hit now?
Yes.
That's a 2.
2 would be on the fin, and I am actually going to give you double damage for that critical success, being as you did so well against it. Well, not actually critical success. It's critical failure.
Cool.
It was so bad at dodging, it just like exposed a vein or something for you to hit at. It's doing poorly.
Jeez. Yeah, no kidding. Okay. That's gonna be a 6, which is doubled to 12.
Yep.
Or you say double? Okay.
Yeah. All right. And you were aiming at the one that was not soothed, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. I don't care which one you aim at. Okay.
Oh wait. Because I keep forgetting about quick reflexes. Could I use that to run over to the other side and shoot the other one?
Give me a good description, yeah?
Cool. Or actually no, that one's not dead, so he just draw another bow at this one.
Yep.
Cool. Yeah, same thing. Sees the arrow hit. It's like as he's drawing the arrow back, the magic is materializing the arrow while he's drawing his arm back. So by the time his arm is fully back, an arrow has appeared, and then he looses the arrow at the sea hag.
All right. Roll again.
That is a 1.
Oh. Okay. Archery is not a class skill for you, right?
Nope.
Okay, so I'm going to need me to roll again. We're going to see how bad you just critically failed.
That's a 10.
Okay, not very badly. Give me a quick sec to think about. Okay. All right. So as you're making this shot, feeling very confident, your stance was not quite as good as it should have been. As a wave hits, you instead of pointing outward, you end up shooting the railing. There's a nice there's a nice hunk of wood missing.
I
I
wouldn't
want
saw
the
that.
captain see.
Yeah, right.
See what?
All right. And that time moving to Alex as Belle.
Okay, so Bell is actually going to look around at all the people using bows, and he's going to try to identify who seems to be doing the best with their shooting. So amongst the players, because why would I go help buffing the NPCs? Amongst the players who actually have arrows and are on the deck, who's using a bow?
Shez, sort of. A magic bow that appeared
Yeah,
out of
but you
thin
don't
air.
have actual arrows.
And
True.
I don't think my
on the
hand
deck.
crossbow counts.
It does count.
Well, it's not really a bow. It has bolts.
That's still what I'm looking for.
All right, yeah. Well,
Anyone?
then
So apparently we have
Tiny.
one person on the deck who is using a bow-like weapon, a weapon with projectiles. Let's go with that.
Night Sky, didn't you make a shot with your bow?
Yeah, but I'm still up on the mast.
Fair enough.
I'm just using a blowgun.
Mm-hmm. Hey, you're doing better than Megan's character. She's got a knife that she tied a rope to.
I do have
you know what?
one quick-
That is now a rope blade. Since it's not actually ribbons, it's a rope blade.
Right. Anyway.
So between the blowgun and the crossbow, who seems to be doing better?
I've hit
Script.
twice.
I'll work with the crossbow. So Belle is going to move up behind. What's your character's name?
Snakes. You should
It's
see it
gonna
on my
move-
little
yeah.
thing.
Yeah, that makes sense. Belle's going to move up behind Snicks and, reaching into your quiver, pull out a handful of arrows. Mind if I borrow these for a moment? He then, because I've actually been doing my magic wrong, opens
Come
up
back.
the tome. You'll get him back in a moment. He opens up the tome that he has hangs from his side, flipping to the page where his water spells are. He then proceeds to quickly select the Ice Shard spell, activates the glyphs on it, and pulls off pulls a glowing glyph off of it. He then proceeds to split the glyph up into 5 smaller copies of itself and attach them to each arrow. With a few more tweaks, he makes it so that the arrows with a word will actually summon an ice shard on top of the arrow, making it fly faster and hopefully hit harder, assuming the spell goes off.
I love this description.
12.
Oh dear.
You rolled a
What is with
12.
What is with my dice today? Okay, and a 6.
playing.
I saw a total animation of this in my head, by the way. You know, you're pulling off that glyph, 5 tiny glyphs coming one out of each finger, spinning, glowing.
By the way, yeah, you're getting a +5 for the immersion bonus on that one.
So 31.
Okay. Wow.
And as he hands the arrows back to you, he tells you, just say pew pew when you use these.
Do that.
Each one is set to go off after it's, he hands them to you in a certain order, so you have to shoot them in that order, just so they don't accidentally go off in the wrong order.
Wow. Okay. I like all that. I'm going to go for the arrows will do 2d6 damage if they get pew-pewed. That is in addition to what you would already be dealing with your bow.
And I have 5 of them.
Mm-hmm. And Alex, I'm going to give you that one critical success, and I'm going to count it for working for all of them. But roll 4 more times, just because I consider those separate instances of the same spell. If you if you get above 15, just count those as successes. So very nice.
Between my roll and the bonuses I'm getting from. Is that including the +5 as well, or just the
that was just
roll
for your,
my skill and action?
Yeah, that was just for your first
Okay.
instance. Still, I'm basically giving you the chance to get some more skill points attached. Anyway, while you roll that, I don't need to hear, because that's a bonus for you. We're going to roll back to Viv, now that you have some very nice toys.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
So while we're in combat, is magic still regenerating that we've already used?
Yes. But keep in mind, so it's it should be your mana base per round of combat.
Okay.
So that's how much you're getting back.
So I got 2 successes and a critical fail.
I'm just going to have the 2 successes. Count it all. Just count it all. Have fun. Put a point in your critical fail. Okay,
Yay.
back to Viv. Now that
How
you just
many-
got some really nice
does
toys.
that,
Yeah.
does that still count as having 5 arrows? Or sorry.
Yeah, I'm not going to take away the arrows. You did so well in the first batch that I'm like, all of them succeed. I'm just giving you other instances to have learned from it, basically.
Okay.
One was like, not like this again.
Yeah.
All right. So from where Snakes is standing, how many hacks does she see?
Okay, so the boat has been moving forward this whole time. Megan now has one speared, and technically speaking, on her turn, I'm going to see if she can keep holding on to it to keep it with the boat. But the first hag that got pulled up is starting to be near the back of the boat itself. The second one is about midway down the boat, and you could still see the one that was behind that was working on the icebergs.
And the first one is the one that's soothed, right? So she's not actively trying to attack anybody. She's just kind of trying to run away.
Yeah, she's trying to run away, but she is buoyant and, well, speared. Knifed.
Okay. And the one that I shot is the one in the middle, or is that the one behind me?
That's the one behind the boat. You still, it's not buoyant, it's just near the surface, and you guys, thanks to all the arrows sticking out of it, are getting a pretty good idea of where it's at.
Yeah. Actually, so I can't see it because the water is dark.
Yeah, it's still shadowy. You're not getting a clear shot, but you can see the shadow well enough, and the arrows are giving a pretty good pointer about where it's at.
Okay, so I'm not gonna get any minuses.
Yep, no minuses.
Okay, because else I would have seen if I could have, used shine on it. But if we don't need that, we don't need that. Right. I'm gonna try and shoot the one that I already hit.
Okay.
That's making more icebergs. All right. Again, agility. Crossbow. Which is 8, 9, 13.
Is that plus your roll?
Yeah. I only rolled a 4.
Okay.
Yeah, but she's probably like patting the arrows, and she put that shiny one in there, and she's just like, "You're gonna do good. You're gonna do good." She probably got distracted by all the shiny. That's why she didn't aim so good.
Yeah, unfortunately, got an 18. So, no dice.
Did it at least
Well,
make a? I mean, will the spell still go off? I mean, will it make pretty lights? Because it's an ice shark
Did
spell.
you say pew pew?
Pew pew.
Tell you what, roll luck for me just for fun. Just for fun.
See if the resulting explosion actually touched the.
Basically, yeah.
All right, that's a 12.
Roll luck again.
I didn't roll a 12. No, it's a 12
Okay,
together.
I'm gonna start doing what we did in Pathfinder: natural 12 versus unnatural 12.
I just gotta call this a dirty 12.
Dirty 12.
Oh, yeah.
I like that. Okay, dirty 12. Okay, that is enough though that you can do the 2d6 damage and roll it at half. So random explosion ice shards will hit.
2d6, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's 6.
Wasn't planned.
What'd you say, Alex? Sorry.
That wasn't planned.
Okay, so the 2d6 together are 6. You
Okay.
said 2d6.
So 3 damage.
Okay.
All right. You actually see a decent bit of blood in the water behind you as it swims around. It's getting pretty injured. Maxwell, you're the one you struck's also getting pretty bloody.
So when you know the pew pew actually hits, I don't know how she remembered it. I don't know. Somebody must have been talking in her brain. Must have been divine, right? You know, she probably a little cackling like because she hit. Totally.
All right. Back to Captain Wavehammer. All right. So
Left.
you feel another lurch as he gets out of the way of another iceberg, and they're actually starting to look like they're clearing up thanks to you guys distracting the problem children. It's doing pretty well. The one that you have speared, Megan, you're about to be tugged by it, so you're going to need to make a decision if you're going to try and hold on, tie it to the ship, something like that. But it is still very much floating along with you. And the other one is, like I said, about midship. You see the captain kind of glance over now that he's got anyone looking at the captain. The captain kind of glances over to the side. You hear a thud on the left-hand side, and suddenly a cannon pops out, and you hear a boom! And the one that Maxwell has been aiming at is eviscerated.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he rolled surprisingly well, being as that cannon doesn't actually hit terribly accurately unless you're a ship. He got pretty lucky. So
Good shot, Captain.
I told you I'm a master of these seas.
Yeah, okay, I've seen it.
Wait, the captain is actually controlling these cannons?
Mm-hmm.
Does he still get the plus D4?
What?
For being blessed?
I forgot that you gave that to him. Yeah, no, that thing's definitely gone. Like he rolled just so well, apparently. Yeah, one of them's gone. Like I don't care if it's buoyant. It got shoved back below the water, broke the spell just out of sheer explosive power. So the one that Megan's holding is still there. The one in the back is still there. Night Sky, you can sense another couple that are still below the water, but they're staying low now. They're in fact almost like circling in a much wider range than they were before. They do not seem willing to engage anymore. All right. And
I'll relay that information, and I'm gonna let everybody know. Hey guys, just so you know, they're kind of staying further out now. They're not really, coming with us anymore.
okay, now from the back of the ship, dozens of ice spikes suddenly shoot out, aiming right for Viv. Didn't like ice getting shot at it. Luckily,
It's just like, you like ice? I like ice too.
Pretty much.
All right.
All right. It is going to be a 28 coming at you.
Okay, and now
So-
what do I do against that?
You can dodge, you can block, or you can resist magic.
Okay, I have 1 in dodge. I guess I can do that. And I guess I'm like, can I combine athletics and dodge?
Yes, in fact. No. No luck there. Again, give me a good immersion bonus, but it's a pretty good number they got there.
Yeah, so how big is the ice spike?
About dagger size. There's 3 or 4 of them coming at you. Technically
Right.
speaking, only one will hit. It's just kind of flavor.
Yeah. So what she will do is she will probably see that, and you'll hear her, "Ah!" and she will just drop flat to the floor, like try and flatten herself, and the only thing you see is kind of the cloak going, and suddenly above her, because suddenly all you see is like a little goblin flat on the floor still with their crossbow, like.
All right, I like description. +3.
All right. So, and dodge is agility too.
Yep.
All right, that's good because agility is nice. 8 for agility, 10 for the dice. That's 18. 1 for dodge. That's 19. 22 with immersion.
Ooh, so close. Okay.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Seeing that it doesn't look like she's going to dodge them, can Belle, who's standing right there, attempt to block the attacks for her?
Yeah, I will let you have a reaction. I'll let you have a reaction.
So, seeing what's going on, Belle reaches behind his back and pulls a kite shield he's been carrying off. Stepping forward, he plants the shield onto the deck of the boat, lowers his head behind it, and oops, it stops. I don't even think an immersion bonus would be enough. That would be a 18.
Okay, tell you what. Try and go for an immersion bonus, and I will give you. It won't stop it completely, but I'll reduce it.
Can I still use the dumb luck with it?
Sure, why not?
Come back here. And I rolled a 1. I just made it worse.
Okay, so here's how this happened. Seeing that the goblin is trying to like throw herself down, defend herself, Belle nobly pulls out the shield, attempting to throw it in the way and block, and trips over himself and lays his body flat out, completely blocking Vivacia, but getting hit himself.
Ow.
That was probably a big old. First you hear the woof, and then you hear. Woof.
And
Which guys do it back there?
And apparently, because my hags can't roll to save their lives unless they're defending, they got a 1. So technically, it's an incidental. So basically, it's shooting up little edges of your shoulders, random fingers, top of your head. So yeah, didn't do much. That comes out to a total of, put my proper dice over here, 3 whole damage.
Mm-hmm.
How much?
3 damage.
You
to
broke
Belle.
up.
3 total damage to Belle after.
That didn't even come close to getting through my damage reduction.
Yeah, it's that. Congratulations, you failed successfully.
I mean,
it works.
If he rolled a 1 on dumb luck, does that mean he crit failed his whole thing?
Yes, when you use dumb luck, you take the second result no matter what it is compared to the first one.
Mm-hmm.
You look, then you get 2 points again.
I don't think I get a point for.
Oh no, it's on the other side.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, it replaces my original roll.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But that still means you crit failed, so you should be able to put a tick on the crit fail side, right?
Yes.
So not only did you crit fail to 0 damage, you crit failed yourself into more points. But ticks.
Like I said, task failed successfully.
Yay.
All right, Megan, it is back to you after
That
all
needs
that
to be an
excitement.
emote.
All right.
I'll work on it.
Okay, so I'm going to. Did my dagger stay attached?
Yeah, it's still attached. It's pretty well wedged in there. Like I said, you are technically anchored to this thing now. But
Okay,
as
I'm
it's
just
right getting near the
really
back of the boat.
stupid.
Oh, this will be fun.
All right, so I'm going to tie it off really fast. I'm then going to, because I spent so much time running through the ruins, I got really good at rappelling. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the rope and I'm going to slide down it onto the creature and rip off the bag that's at its waist.
Okay, I love it. You're gonna +5 to all that. Yeah, that's great. I love it.
Yeah.
ties back to your story. It's really awesome. Oh, that's great. Okay, so you're gonna need to. We actually have a knot tying skill. If not, then I believe it just. I can't remember if we have that as agility or intelligence. Which direction we went with that? Because either was agile enough to tie the knot correctly, or intelligent enough to know the knots. If we need, I can look it up real quick.
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind looking it up.
Lashing is agility.
Okay, so that would be an agility-based skill.
I did not do well.
Oh.
Yep. We got a 9. Oh wait, +5.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a 14.
That's enough to tie it off.
Okay, good.
All right.
That would have been the worst.
Right. Your next is now actually being able to rappel down. So that's going to be either. I'll go for acrobatics or athletics. The approach is different, but the end result will be the same.
Mm-hmm. All right. So I've got 12 plus 5, so 17.
17. That's enough.
All right. Okay, and then I got to rip the bag off its waist.
Yep. But it doesn't feel like that'd be a pickpocket. It's not going.
Grapple?
Do you have any skill that seems like it would apply?
Agility-based fighting.
Well, agility-based fighting means you get to pick a skill that's agility-based. That is a fighting skill, like short
Yeah, that's pretty fair. I've got a throwing knife. Can I use that to like cut the?
You know what? Yeah, I'll go for it. Just go for it. It's gonna try and resist you a little bit, but
yeah, I crit failed.
oh. Okay. Is it a class skill?
It's 3 crit fails this round.
You know, the 12s are being balanced out by all the 1s we're getting now. It had to even out eventually.
It is a class skill. Yep.
Okay, roll again.
Okay, wait, yeah. Okay, so...
If it's 7 through 12...
Oh, this is to be able to cut it, right? So it would be
Yeah.
agility plus 11 plus 5.
I thought you said you rolled a 1.
You said reroll.
Yeah, it whatever your reroll is determines how badly you failed.
Oh,
Which
I rerolled an 11.
okay, so as it's a class skill, you did not fail that badly. It just gets counted as the value of 1. So
Okay.
you rolled a 1 and add up all your other stuff.
So I got a 12.
It's slippery, the hag's rolling around, you get a nick in it, but you really don't get enough to get the bag completely off of her.
Okay.
Alright.
That sounds like about 10 seconds.
Yeah, it's about 10 seconds. Night Sky, what you got?
So you said I can sense that they're kind of sticking off in the distance at this point. They're not really following us or doing too much anymore.
Yep. In fact, the one that's even behind the ship is starting to drop back. It's definitely lost interest in trying to attack. The others are staying well away.
And these haven't talked at all yet, right? So, like, we can't really just talk to them as I will fly down and see if I can manage to take this bag that she's trying to take off of this one while it's, still here, to see if it gives us anything useful.
Okay, sounds good.
So, let's see. I mean, I don't have, like, to do rope or anything super, so it's literally just, like, swoop in and try and grab the pack and go. And I have throwing knives, so I could try and do the whole cut it thing if I don't have enough element of surprise to just, like, grab it and go kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, remember, you can go for immersion bonus. Give me an interesting piece of your story, and I'll go for it.
We'll see if this is something you'll laugh.
All right.
So my hawk has been sitting here with me this whole time.
That's true.
So my hawk is gonna fly at its face to distract it as I swoop in and try and grab its pack and fly back out of the way.
All right, I like it. I'll give you +3 for that.
And that is an 11
Not bad.
plus agility, I guess.
Yep.
So 16 minus 3 is 13.
Then you get the 3 back for the immersion bonus.
Right. So 16 still.
That is enough to get the bag. Well done.
I just
Yay!
basically fly back up the mast.
All right, you are zipping out of there. Schleria, what you got?
So if it's looking like everything is slowing down, I would just kind of be looking over everything, making sure that it looks like everything's safe now. Making sure there's nothing else I need to do.
Okay, yeah. You have. Well, I mean, depending where you at in the ship. Remind me, you were toward the back, right?
Towards back here.
Yeah. So yeah, you'll be seeing that the one that was kind of pursuing the ship, summoning icebergs, has fallen back with the trail of blood leading in the water, getting all dispersed. Weirdly enough, off to the side, you see another one that seems to be anchored to the boat and a Cianox surfing on it. The captain seems to be doing well, and the other Cianox guards are making some random shots toward the back. That's about what's going on around you.
I'm gonna just kind of wipe off and make sure I look all nice and tidy again. Straighten out my clothes.
All right. In that case, moving to Maxwell.
Cool. Shaya's gonna look around confused, and then he's gonna run up to where he has visibility on another one of these sea hags. Turn to the captain and say, "These be beasts, yay?"
Yay!
Okay, yo ho! I like this naval stuff, kind of. I'm kind of and draws a bow and says, "I don't know what you're all standing around for. This definitely presents a danger to travelers." And then looses an arrow at a sea hag he can see.
You have the one that's dropping back at the behind, so that'd be, or the one that's being surfed on by Megan's character.
Seems like a bad idea to shoot at the one
Don't
that's
shoot
being
me.
Wasn't
Yeah.
there
rowed.
still another one that was floating?
Yeah, that one is there, and it's falling behind. It's not actually anchored, so it's not and it's can't move as fast as the ship is if it's trying to breaststroke on top of the water.
So with the quick reflex, is just going to use both of those to take those 2 shots at this one that's behind.
Okay.
Okay. That's 2 12s.
Ooh.
Wow. Okay, I'm gonna do this one at a time.
Like, I'm really deciding what I'm going to name this stream when I put it on YouTube. It's going to be like the highs and the lows.
Okay, so for the first one, so that's 12. 3 plus. That's 33 for the first one.
Congratulations, that's a critical success. Oh. I just want to know, you rolled 2 12s, I rolled 2 2s.
Wow.
All right. They're doing great.
Okay, and for the second shot, that is a plus the 12, 26.
Also a critical success. So,
Nice.
2 very beautiful shots. Roll location.
Beautiful. Okay. First one, that's a 2 again. Finn.
Finn.
Second one, that bounced out of my tray. 3.
Also the Finn. Well,
Destroyer of fins.
so I'm going to tell you, let's see. 9 damage is what you need to finish this one off. So if you can roll enough, I will let you just have the kill description. especially being as you keep hitting the fin.
Cool. Okay, so that's gonna be.
Well, and the rate he's going, he's going to have another point in archery by the time.
Right?
Okay. That's okay. That's gonna be 1, 10, 19 plus 4, 23.
Yeah, dead.
Cool. It draws the bow back. See, using that quick thing, 1, 2 pierces through both fins with enough magical force that the sea hag is just propelled down to the depths, just leaving a trail of blood.
Yeah, so Night Sky, you can actually feel it just shoot down to the depths outside of the range you can feel them.
That move is called bye, bye, bye.
Yeah, no kidding. Bye! Okay, well,
Dang.
that would do it.
Do critical successes just count as normal successes on the
2.
tickers for the skill?
2 successes.
2 successes. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, the only thing that does not count towards your ticker is failures. Critical failures, because they are such bad failures, they teach you something. It's at a different
Gotcha.
rate. Successes and critical successes, you know. Okay,
Cool.
well, that was suitably dramatic. All right, are you guys going to keep fighting this one that is being drug along, or are you just going to try and hoist it up as a prisoner? Because I'm happy to call the combat good here. The others have dropped back. They are not engaging anymore. The icebergs are clearing up. All you have is the one you're now towing along like a very sad fish.
Well,
As
do they
a
need-
side thing, I would like to try casting. One of them did kind of get blown up by the cannon, right?
Uh-huh.
I would like to try casting Untethered on the a little bag they have hanging off of them and see if I can pick that one up.
Okay, you can use either perception or luck to try and... The ship's been moving, you have waves, the cannon.
Let's go with Perception. So my luck's a point lower. And 3 plus 3 is 6. I'm assuming that's not good enough.
Yeah, sorry.
Dumb luck. And I roll another one.
We're gonna have angry wisps. Come on.
I haven't rolled a 1 for any magic skills. It's only been the non-magic ones.
Okay, that blow to the head that you took, it just kind of, you know.
Right? I don't... Like, I'm not even sure what to do with that. I don't know. You're...
I fall in the water?
No, like... you're stoneboard. You'd have a really hard time with that.
There's a reason I have buoyancy.
Mm-hmm.
It was actually for
Why
me.
push a bit?
Well, I rolled a 4 for my critical fail chart, so...
Oh, jeez. I'm almost waiting, like, you misperceive something. I just don't know what to... Have you misperceive it as? I don't...
See,
My discern failed terribly.
Right. Alright, let's go with this. For some odd reason, you are now convinced that, due to the waves and the motion, that it is stuck on the underside of the boat. Like, you were convinced if you go crawling down there somehow, you'll be able to find it.
Yeah, it's not worth that.
Okay. Alright. So, combat's over, everything's clearing up. Captain's swearing a bit less now. You hear him something yelling to the sea hags about don't come back, and more expletives.
Well, we
What's
should
he
should
doing
find
with
out
that
why
one?
they were attacking us.
Aye.
I don't know, but I'm definitely getting one of those necklaces.
That's the old thing. They're bestial creatures. They sit underwater. They do magic by accident more than anything. They learn it instinctively, so far as I've been told. They just don't like to be seen. They don't attack. That is very unusual for the sea hags.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe we should see if somebody did something to them or spelt them or something.
Look, The Pointy-Ears are paying me to get as many of you as possible to the island, and he leans over to you. They're paying me by the head. They didn't specify that to be researchers. That's why a lot of you are on here just...
I am
Well,
a
Does the
researcher.
sea hag count?
Yeah, that would give you an extra head.
I don't particularly care what the wow. I don't particularly care what the sea hags are doing, as long as they don't keep bothering me.
Can I do a glyph check on the sea hag
Sure.
to see if there's anything odd with the magic around it? 8 plus 9 is a 17.
Okay. What schools of magic do you have access to?
Yes. Life, order, thaumaturgy, nature, air, earth, fire, and water.
Okay. You're going to definitely see a ton of water glyphs surrounding them. They naturally learn water magic, so that's not too surprising. And you see a few stray glyphs that look somewhat familiar, almost like they're related to thaumaturgy, but they're definitely not thaumaturgy runes.
And it just kind of gestures to the general location they would be. Anyone else here able to see glyphs?
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you recognize these ones? As he
I can
gestures
take
to
a
them.
look.
Go for it. Roll glyphs.
That's gonna be 17.
Okay. And remind me what schools you have access to.
Time and telepathy.
Oh. Yeah, you see very distinctive telepathy runes coming from almost inside them. Like, normally telepathy runes would be floating around the head or not too far from it. It almost looks like it's in their stomach.
It seems if this one is to serve as an example of the behavior of the others, that it potentially ate something that has influenced its thoughts.
I rolled a 22 for glyphs, but that probably doesn't matter at this point.
You would see the
Well,
same, the
time
same
to
type of
figure
thing.
this out.
You'd see
I
the
grab
same
my
type of thing.
dagger and I run it down to open up the stomach.
Oh,
Well,
Okay.
it being still alive shrieks in agony and then just kind of...
I thought it was dead.
No, it's still alive. You're just
I
telling
want to
me
kill it
now.
first.
well,
it's
this
dead
was bound
now.
to happen at some point.
Jeez. Wow.
It's definitely dead now, Megan.
Accidental
Brutal.
murder hobo.
I didn't need to.
Brutal. Very brutal.
Belle,
I
come
guess
over here and
that's
step
one
on
way to
its neck.
Oh,
You guys haven't even hoisted out of the water yet.
I figured we
They're up
already
above
had.
looking at this.
I mean, I am doing glyph check on it. I figured we've already got it out of the water.
Well, I've already pulled its necklace off first because I was talking about that. I want that damn necklace.
I'm just imagining it. Tear necklace off, turn around. Something in the stomach.
gut.
Okay. All right.
It's a fish, right?
Yeah, half fish. Okay.
are you a butcher?
What's the necklace?
That was the cleanest dissection I have ever seen.
We're not
I
eating
grew up
that.
on a farm, okay?
Sorry, bisection.
We are not-
I have
eating that.
always had to. You know
Oh,
what?
would-
This
would
is a
that
lot
have-
less.
Like a poison gland or something? Because, I mean,
I don't know. I'm
I
not
would-
touching
if
that.
it
That is
does,
revolting.
I would like that. I will stash that in my poison kit.
You tell me where to look and I'll find it.
So,
I wish I knew.
the captain walks over. Do you want me to hoist that onto the boat, or are you just going to keep dissecting it down there?
Less of a mess.
Did you find anything?
You
in
said
its
you didn't
stomach?
want it on the boat.
Well, it's dead now. Might make a nice figurehead.
There you go.
Don't worry. they're
I
close
don't know.
to
I
the-
don't know a good taxidermist.
Anyway,
Is there anything else useful out of it?
Did we find something in the stomach?
yes, you find a small marble-sized, like, shiny rock that does not look like it'd be something it would naturally eat. It's also not a pearl.
Can I try and use identity on it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Once we have it hoisted up.
Yeah, look at...
Yeah, hoist me up. We'll just leave it there. I got the necklace. I got the shiny stone. We don't need it.
If you tell that to the captain, he throws down a rope. If you want the body hoisted, he'll throw down a net.
Do we sense anything else that, we need to remove from the body?
It's good up to you guys at this point. Do you want it sprayed? I mean,
I don't want anything to do with this.
When I was looking at it with glyphs, did I see anything that I might be able to use for my crafting?
let's
say
see.
on its fins or whatever it was they were using to cast the ice shards.
So the ice shards would be attached to the glyphs that they have on the necklaces that Megan now has. If you actually go look at it, since you're familiar with water, you would see it's a really, really rough version of the ice shard glyph, but it is functional. Regardless, their scales would be probably useful for something or another, being as they're from inherently magical creatures.
Then I would like to be able to take a look at the body, see if there's anything useful on it or useful from it.
Okay. Captain
And I
walks
just-
over to a nearby crate, throws it open, throws a net over the side after throwing the rope that lets Megan get back up.
May I take a look at what you found in the stomach?
Let's
Yeah,
see.
Look,
And he
little
says,
shiny rock.
"Oi, you tinkery thing, get over here and help lift. And you, pointy ears, get over here," pointing to you, Shalaria.
Yep, Bella goes to lend a hand.
"Help me heave."
Want me to
That's the
roll
good
for
part
this?
about
or-
being small. Nobody asks you to lift shit.
And
Probably
while
whispering
they're
over to the
all,
little flying one.
dissecting and lifting, I'm still up on my mask, going through this bag that I snatched.
So in this bag, you will find a couple of seashells, some of which look like they have glyphs on them, and a cube of water, about 2 inches by 2 inches.
I like it.
A cube of water?
A cube of water.
That marble thing in the stomach, if I'm taking a look at it now, would I need to make another glyph check on it, or can I sort of already discern?
It's pretty clear. It's shooting off telepathy glyphs.
Would I be able to tell what order of telepathy?
Order, no, but if you would look at it and make a really good glyph check, you'd be able to break down the core runes or the core glyphs that are making it up.
Can I try a glyph roll then?
Yeah.
Cool.
And since I wanted to do identity and it says add 1d6 to rolls to learn about the objects, would he be able to add that 1d6 to it
You have to remind
as an
me.
assist?
Yeah, no, you have to remind me if you could cast it on him, because if you cast it on yourself, you'd have a different approach.
Well, it says
Because-
caster concentrates on item's pattern, hoping item will reveal more info about its nature. Add 1d6 to rolls to learn about the object.
Yeah, so unless you have telepathy magic, which is an illegal school of magic, no, yeah. So I would say do it still, but you wouldn't be doing it through the telepathy runes. You'd have a different approach.
Okay. Yeah, I was just wondering if that would assist him in him trying to figure out what he's trying to figure out.
In the way he's doing it, no.
Okay. Could I figure out where it's from?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So would this be this is an intelligence based with research or glyphs, right?
Yeah, I would have you tell me like how you're approaching it. Glyphs would be instinctively understanding the glyphs that make up the total glyph that is the overall spell. The research would be things that you have read and studied on before.
I think he'd sit down and take the time he needed to look at it and reference the sort of structure of the glyphs on this object with the structure of the glyphs in his magic book for telepathy. And that's a class skill, and I rolled a 1 on the die, so...
Roll again. If it's 7 through 12, you just take it as a 1. If it's below that, then I, throw the fun stuff at you.
That's a 7.
That's a 7. Okay, you just take it as a value 1.
Okay, then that's going to be a 13 total.
Okay, you can't break apart all the different pieces and the intricacies. However, you do pull out 2 particular rune or glyph pieces. They used to be called runes before we changed it to glyphs. I occasionally ship back to that. So you are able to understand one of them means conviction and the other means control. But the rest of it is kind of blurry. It's just designed in a way that you don't recognize the glyphs.
Gotcha. Cool.
We should feed it to a chicken. I want to see what it does.
Anyway, Vivesha, are you still studying the stone through your spell?
Yeah, order. So I want to use identity on it and see if I can figure out, where the maybe where the marble, the actual stone is coming from. If I can figure out, where they got the marbles, like somebody must have cast it on it, and maybe if we know where the marble is coming from, locally or not locally. Right.
And I'm sitting there observing everything.
I can also run an appraise check too. I don't know if that helps.
If we want to sell it, right? Okay, so
yeah, because that's not black market.
So since that is that not? Would that just be a plain intelligence one? Because that doesn't sound like a skill. I don't think there's a geology skill.
No, not specifically.
I mean, there's stone working, but
I don't have any more. I don't have any more space on there, anyways. I'm already full.
Yeah, it's the next project down the line is getting full.
Even if you
full sheets of
skills.
or not, you can be building it.
See, it's the funny thing with my own personal characters. I never fill them up. Anyway, all right. So you would make first off. You need to make the cast the spell. It's just a first order spell, so all you need is a 12 since you're not contesting anything.
Okay. So and that is.
That would be the order magic plus intelligence plus your roll.
Order, intelligence, and the roll. Okay. So that is 1 and 6. That's 7, and the roll. It's a 12.
You made it! Okay, now roll 1d6, and you'll add that number to anything that you're doing to research or figure out the item.
Just want to do this again. I'm only going to use 1, but... It's a 5.
Okay, so you'll add plus 5 to however you approach this. So if you don't have any specific type of researching skills... You could also go down perception if you wanted. The way that spell works is as long as you're trying to understand it, you'll get the bonus to it. So whether it be trying to understand it through scholarly means or intuitive means or stuff like that.
No, I would have to go intelligence. I don't have any research skills.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so plain intelligence plus 5.
Plus 5. You can also give me some immersion bonus if you feel so inclined.
Oh, she would probably, pick it up, wipe it off, because there are guts on it. Like with the edge of her cloak, like pick it up, and then like roll it in her hand and like squint at it, like touch it, trying to figure out, is it rough, is it smooth, is there any striations in it? You probably won't lick it, but she'll probably smell it too. See if it smells kind of different, and maybe there's a shimmer in it, but she ain't licking it. No. All right, and with that, let's roll. Well, that is a 10 plus intelligence. That's a 16 plus 5. That's 21.
21. Okay. So. Oh, let's see. You are goblin. Okay. The stone seems like a particular type that would be used in building things, like building actual structures. It looks like it had been polished down, very much manufactured and created.
No, I'm like, do I want to cast remnants on it? But I probably should not, because it will just show me a big old block of marble. But it would have been cool if it would then show me a building. But no. So, and would I know where this kind of marble would be used for building? What part of the world?
Where's your character been? Like in their history?
We haven't even decided yet where my. I just know she was in that, you know. See, didn't even pick, because she was outside her racial territory somewhere in the wilderness, and I haven't even picked one yet.
That's why we get her back.
Probably not. Probably not. If they're not using it in temples for, what's her name, Calgis, the darkness goddess, then she probably don't know. Never mind.
Kalik?
Yeah. There you go.
Are any of you legal? Fair enough.
I don't know if you count, Belle.
Hey, my character is well known, apparently.
Uh-huh. It's his master that's the crazy Manitorn one.
On the loose.
On the loose. Anyway, no, nothing too immediately identifiable from that.
Yeah, she would show what, you know, share what you learn, and would say, you know, this is not something that they should have like just found somewhere. This has been done on purpose, because this is building marble that somebody had to, you know, turn into these small things and cast something on. So somebody did this on purpose, purposefully, probably in a city or somewhere where this marble is used.
Mm.
Oh, we see Minnie Mouse.
Okay, any of the Ceanox, make a perception roll.
Sure. That's cocked.
I got a 15.
Okay.
That's a
11.
Okay.
13.
Was that Slayer?
11.
11. Okay. Megan, your character actually recognizes that as very similar to the stone that's found in the more northern section of the island of Citadel. It makes up the ruins over there.
I know where this is from. I've seen it. I spent time looking at it for a long time. It was in the ruins. I was with the monks for a while, and they made me look at this wall for like 3 days. Pretty sure it's the same stuff.
Interesting. Can't imagine the correlation between monks and these sea creatures. Could be
I don't
unrelated.
know. I just know where it came from.
A little odd, it's imbued with, well, mind magic. You'd think something from the ruins would be, you know, affected by more time.
Did you mention mind magic, Maxwell?
I never. No, he specifically did not tell them that it was telepathy.
Yeah, cause I remember when you were describing the runes, you made something that would influence them somehow was in their stomach.
Wait, so what did you tell me when I asked you if you recognized them?
He would have looked at it and basically described it in a way that he wouldn't say telepathy. It'd just be very vague in the sense of like some sort of magic that directs them towards a certain course of action or provides them a motivation to do something.
That's my work alarm.
Yep, and we are really right there at the end. I'm going to say the captain basically yells at you guys and says, well, while you're all figuring that out, land ho! You see the island in the distance, and he says you're about 2 hours away.
Soon to be home.
Mm-hmm.
Soon to be in a new land.
All right, Alex, I understand if you have to pull up, I'm going to close the stream off. If you guys want to stay here, we will do our stars and wishes. I know there's a command to raid. Is it exclamation point raid?
I
and then...
need to go to
Slash-
go pick up baby.
slash raid.
Okay, do we have anyone to raid? My Twitch is not up right now.
I'm gonna go to sleep now.
Sounds
Well,
good.
there's Stella Luna. Stella Luna. She's now doing Unbound, and they're playing D&D. And Stella Luna is actually she's super sweet, and she's actually the one who let me DM on stream for the first time.
Awesome. All right, let me. Can you spell that? Can you spell a name for me?
Stella Luna.
Just STELLA.
LLALUNA, like the kids book. Stella Luna.
Okay, perfect. We're gonna raid her
She's super sweet.
and be over there in 5 seconds. Of course, Alex had to leave and screw up my cameras before we were officially done, but hey. And raid it now. And
See you next